this show where we get to discuss mod, maps, and news. Holy smokes. And if you cannot tell, exhausted right now. Absolutely, just absolutely wasted. It has been one of the longest weekends I think I have ever had, and I get to do it for another 7.5 more days. So, fun! It's so much fun. All right. I'm joined here by Will T Gaming. Will, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you? Which, I mean, I already know that answer, but
I'm exhausted. Whoo, boy. I don't think there's enough coffee in the planet to keep this man going. we're gonna be we're gonna be going as long as we possibly can tonight, so we'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed and see how things go. We got a lot of stuff to talk about here tonight. Jonah, how's it going, Jonah? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, I'm still first. Yes, you are. Ken says, what up, Jonah? Hope you're ready for the long agribusiness show. Plenty of mods dropped over this last week. 100%. Hope you're having a fantastic day, Ken. Jody, how's it going? Hope you're having a great one as well. Hi, and how are you today? I'm doing fantastic. Ken says, what up, Jody? Jody says hi to Ken. Ken says, sunny and breezy day today. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Samuel, how's it going? Hope you're having a great one as well. Says hi, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you as well.
yo, what's going on YouTube? It's WTG here. I'm so sorry for the late intro, but there it is.
Hey, you know what? We're starting this one off strong.
Yeah, strong, like my coffee.
Oh, you know what? That's why I got one of these. It's not helping, but it's here.
Yo, drink some G Fuel. There you go.
Oh, you know what? I've never tried that stuff.
Oh, it's so good, dude. I'm not kidding.
Is it good?
G Fuel, dude. So there was one day that I was up for almost 3-4 days straight because I was working back to back, basically. So I was like, I basically worked afternoon, then I had to work the morning, then I helped my parents, then I had to work the afternoon, then I had to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All I did was drink G Fuel, and I'm not even kidding you. A can of G Fuel is 300 milligrams of caffeine in it. I literally felt more energized than I ever have.
So, do you know those little shots that you can pick up at a gas station, that 5-hour energy stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So, for a little while, I was drinking that stuff because my wife and I, we lived up in Georgia, and our families were still down here in Florida. So we were making like 7.5-hour trips just one way, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was nuts. And, we just kept going and kept going, kept going. And I just realized that my audio. Sorry, my audio wasn't turned on for the alerts. I'll read that in just a second. But so, anyways, I was exhausted because we ended up leaving after work one day, and work typically let out about 5 o'clock, but this particular time we ended up leaving about 6 because we knew if we left at 5, we were just going to hit all the rush hour traffic there in Atlanta. So we're like, okay, well, we're still going to hit it, but at least we'll hit the tail end of it. Well, what ended up happening is we're driving, like I said, 7.5 hours from Atlanta to where I am, and my family's at here in Florida, and I'm just exhausted. By exit 2 in Georgia, I'm just like, okay, I've got to stop and get something. So I get 2 of those little 5-hour energy drinks.
Right.
And going down the road, and I drink the first one, I'm like, man, I'm still really exhausted. And like, should I crack the other one? Not even paying any attention or anything. I'm like, okay, I'll crack over the second one. I take a drink. I make it about 30 minutes later, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling awake and alert and all that stuff. No big deal. All of a sudden, my heart just starts like pounding like a jackrabbit. It's like dun 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 dun. I'm like, uh-oh. Something's wrong here. Like my heart shouldn't be doing things like this.
Right.
So, needless to say, it was doing like the samba inside my chest, like, hey, just going absolutely berserk. I look over at my wife, I'm like, we might need to stop and find some place to, me have a heart attack. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like my heart's like going a million miles an hour right now, and I don't know if if I'm gonna be okay.
Oh,
And
that's what it
she's like,
was.
"Uh-oh, what was what?"
Alternator.
Alternator. Oh, yes, that charges the battery.
So,
Oh, sorry, a little pre-show conversation that we had there.
I told you it would come back to me. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to cut you off.
No, no, so that was pretty much it right there. It was yeah, needless to say, I waited about another half hour or so, and it turned out everything was fine. Here I am, still kicking, so everything's good. And needless to say, it was an interesting trip.
Oh, jeez. Well, should we crack on?
I mean, we ought to do something.
All right. Well, as of for today, we only had one update today. And that was for the John Deere 84X series, which I'm not going to go over. But as of for yesterday, um, so we got the
Saturday mods, Saturday mods, Giants, you mad lads, you.
see. I think they're working overtime to keep the dude. Okay, there's only one thing I want to say. Hispano modding just added about 20 more mods to the queue.
Oh, okay. More mad lads. We got Giants. We got Hispano. What is going on here?
Well, for starters, we got the Star Hercules 6.0 2016 by Agrotono. This is going to be 17.39 megabytes to download. And this is nice though, because it does do solid fertilizer, lime, and manure.
Oh, it does do manure. Oh, very nice. Yeah, so this one I do like. I like this one a lot, specifically because, 17.39 megabytes to install. That's not that bad. Really, really reasonable. $166,000 to purchase. That's a little bit on the expensive side for what you're getting, but you got an entirely self-propelled unit. So you don't have to dedicate a tractor to do your fertilizing, your liming, and all that stuff. Plus, does it throw out to, let's see, 42 meters? What's its speed or
So for the working area for fertilizer is 36 meters. It's
yeah.
4.8 meters for lime and 12.6 for manure.
Yeah, so I mean, regardless, like those are some pretty solid numbers. You get 36 meters for the fertilizer. I mean, that's, not the biggest, but it's not the smallest either. Having this as one self-contained unit and it has a little party trick of manure as well. I like it. I think this is a solid download,
Besides that, too, it has a base capacity of 6,000 liters. It can go up to 12,000. So,
which isn't bad. I mean, you figure the probably closest, I mean, there really is no good comparable to this
no.
one because there's no solid fertilizer thrower like that. As far as I'm aware, no, I mean, there's nothing like it. So I can't even really come up with a decent comparable.
Now, I do want to say, because I did receive a, a message from someone asking where the John Deere self-propelled, the John Deere 4940 is. Well, before I even reached out to custom modding, they put out a post, and I know that someone made a comment, which they commented on that. It did fail testing. It is back with Giants, and they have a good feeling it should be released this week, this upcoming week.
Nice.
So next one is going to be the Lizard Magnum Pack. This is by JD Modding. Arg. I don't know.
Arr.
It's going to be 26.63 megabytes. So you have capacity between 22,500 to 27,500. Price tag between 37,000 and 42,000. I mean, this is a pass for me.
I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request. Means no. Yeah, no, hard pass on this one. 27 megabytes for an auger. I mean, no, just no. No.
Well, and for the star mod, it's a pass for me only because I'm not a big fan of star mods. I mean, there are some I'll
Yeah.
install, but let's see here. The next one is going to be the Lizard GTF 26. This is by Holtz FS. This is going to be 7.13 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $7,800. And it does not show the capacity. And then you have the adapter piece, which is $800. This is basically like a side of the field grain bin. So you can basically bring your combine or your auger wagons over here, load it up, and then pull the semi underneath. I mean, it's neat, but it'd be a hard pass for me though.
I mean, it's one of those where it's only 8 megabytes to install, so it's not like huge on the ways of space or anything like that. $7,800 to purchase is not all that bad, and $800 for the kind of front tool implement, all that. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not something I could ever see myself using. So for that, it would be a pass, but I can at least entertain the thought of, yes, this is something that I could, in theory, be on board with putting on. Just not something that kind of jives with my play style, though, so probably wouldn't have it.
Next one is going to be the double grass. So let's try this again. Double grass rollers pack by Hispano. This is going to be
Speak of Hispano.
21.29 megabytes to download. So you have your 1230, which has a working width of 12.3 meters, price tag of $35,000. And then you have your 2430, which has a working width of 24.3 meters and a price tag of $127,500. See, I got excited when I saw this because I'm like, oh, these are back in games, so I can get rid of the big one from Giants, because I got these. These are only grassland rollers. They actually are not rollers themselves. They're just grassland care. So I'm like, I don't even use grassland care stuff, so pass.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you. I mean, 22 megabytes to install. It's kind of up there for an implement. Now, you're getting, each one of these for 11 megabytes each. I mean, yeah, it'd be a pass simply because it's strictly grass care. But can I just point out one thing just really quick? The mad people over at Dalbo there, I mean, the Power Roller 1230, and it just so happens to be 12.3 meters, or the 2430, that's 24.3 meters. You crazy kids over there. Can you tell I'm tired?
Yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Sheep Goat Barn by Celebuhi. This is going to be 9.08 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $60,000. Capacity is, well, your base is going to be 150, until you can expand the feature. I mean, wow, expand the pasture. I love this. I installed this right away.
Yeah, this is a good one. Really good one. And if those people kind of recognize this, this is the same barn that was in Alma, Missouri. Which means we might be getting one step closer to Alma being released.
And if anyone does follow my page over on Facebook, Elma, Missouri, the FS Club did post something about it. It is back with Giants, and right now it's in council testing. So
Keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll have it before too much longer. So, looking at the kind of base game comparables, we've got really nothing in the ways of size that can compare to it. So, the biggest base game one that we have is called the Horman Sheep Barn. It holds 68 sheep base for $97,000. So, this thing right off the bat is cheaper, carries almost what is that, triple almost the amount of
yeah,
sheep and goats that the Harman can hold. I mean, and it's only 10 megabytes to install. Yeah, this is a win. Absolutely.
plus it's American. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the U.S. Cow Barn with Vector. This is by VX Mapping. This is going to be 14.79 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $250,000. There is no slurry. But you can place a manure heap down and get manure from them. So your base is 130 cows. I do like how it does show the capacities for everything, and it does show like the solar panels, the income, and it does have a bale storage for 400. I absolutely love this.
So does this have an auto feeder? Is that the vector they're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. Well, then this one I can tell you right off the bat is going to be a huge win. Not just a small win, but an absolute huge win. And here's why. Base game Horman Cow Barn with feeding robot. The Lily Vector. The Vector. Okay, okay, that makes sense now. So the Lily Vector is the actual feeding robot. The base capacity for cows is 96. This holds 130. So already you're getting more cows. The price for the Horman is $722,500. This is $250,000. You're saving almost $500,000 right off the bat. Right off the bat, and you get an auto feeder. Now the only problem is you don't get the slurry, so that's a downside. But all in all, this is a win, and it's 15 megabytes. Go for it.
Well, besides that too, it also has a like one of those storage for. Now it is bales only, no pallets. It's just bales only, but it does hold 400. So
Which, I mean, that right there too. I mean, that's just an additional win on top of everything else. It having room for 400 bales that you could use to make your TMR or use to actually feed into the feeding robot. Just, it's awesome. This is a great mod.
man, not 100%. Next one is Bavarian Cowshed. This is by Max BTW Zero. I think that's a zero. This is me 20.85 megabytes to download. You have a price tag for $125,000. Capacity at the bare minimum is 120 cows. I do like it, but I passed on it though.
I like it too. I think it has a really nice look to it. I love the kind of wood slatting on the inside and just the general kind of feel for this barn. I like it, but 21 megabytes to install, that's a bit high for a cow barn. It's a bit high. But when you compare it to kind of base game stuff, again, we have the Horman Cow Barn Large. That has a room for 96 cows. This has room for 120. So you get more cows. And the Horman is $518,500. This is 125. So yeah, you're spending about $400,000 less, getting more cows. It's a win. I would say this is a win. And if you don't mind the little bit of extra space it takes up, yeah, then definitely download it.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Horse Barn with Storage. This is by Schultz Modding. This is going to
Schultz.
be 4.22 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $75,000. Holds, base 13 horses, but you can only have 16 horses on all platforms. And it also has a storage capacity for bales only, which is 250 bales. This is a pass for me. I do like it, but I don't really do horses.
Same here. I 100% agree. I'm not huge on the horses here in base game. If I was a PC player and could have the mods that would auto ride and stuff like that, I don't know if we have those in 25, but I know we had it in 22.
Yeah, we have.
We do have it. Okay, so yeah, if I was on PC, then I would do horses more often. I would just let the computer do the work for me, and it'd be perfect. It'd be a win-win. But looking at the base game comparables, the closest thing we have is the horse barn. That's what it's called. Don't shoot the messenger. It's called horse barn. $110,000 base price, 75,000 for the mod. So you're already saving money. 13 horses and 13 horses. So same amount of horses for about 35 grand less. There you go. And less than 5 megabytes to install. So if you're into horses, this is a good one. And 250 bale capacity. Yeah, this is a good one. Go for it.
Next one is going to be Fenceless Pastures. This is by Cookie Monster. Love the name. Cookie.
Cookie.
Let's see, it's gonna be. Let's see, I don't know how they did this though, but it's 0.78 megabytes to download. Basically, you have two of each. So you got two sheep, two chicken, two cows, etc., etc. Because you have one that you have to give them water, and one that has an auto water feature on it. I mean, the price tag, I mean, isn't awful. So like, let's just say we're gonna use cow pasture with auto water produces milk. Price tag $8,000. Capacity 7 cows. That's just starting out with until you expand it. I mean, I do like this. I'm not a big fan of the fenceless stuff, so that's why I never use them. But I mean,
So I do like this. I love this. And here's why. Super cheap for the install size. Less than a megabyte. That's perfect. That is absolutely home run, in my opinion. We have the ability to select auto water versus manual water. That's fantastic as well. And you have the ability to produce milk or produce like not produce milk with cows and just all these different options. So there's so many different ways to kind of work at this. What I like about these styles of pastures is that even if you don't necessarily want an open pasture, this is basically the attempt at making the kind of fencing system that we had now or that we have now for back in 22 days. You could take this, mod, place it down, and then put a fence around it, and there you go. You got your, pasture kind of thing. Yeah, I like it. I really think this is a great mod and kind of a harkening back to 22. On top of that, you can really kind of customize this and make it into something very special. So, yeah, I like it.
next one is gonna be U.S. Silo. This is by VX Mapping. This is gonna be 16.67 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag of $75,000. It does show you solar panels $9,000 a month, and it does have a bale storage, 400 bales. I absolutely love this. This has I think it's a 600,000 liter capacity for like the silo, and it's not multi fruit. And and it does have a workshop in it as well, and you can actually go through the entire barn too. Everything is accessible.
This barn is amazing. VX mapping, I meant to say this about the last one, but I'm going to say it here right now because it applies to both. The previous mod from VX Mapping, the look, the kind of weathering on the outside of the barn, you can tell this thing's been around for ages, but it looks incredible. It's only 17 megabytes to install. It's a silo of multiple capacities, so you got your, grain storages, you also got your bales. That's awesome. 75 grand to install. I mean, it's cheap. It's cheap for everything that you get, and you get some actual like storage capacity for your vehicles and stuff like that. Like everything about this is a win-win-win. If you want that kind of old and like kind of lived in feel, I mean, you look at this screenshot here and you can see the cracking and the kind of degrading of the what looks to be a concrete floor, here in the bale storage area. That's awesome, but also the weathering and the paint chipping on the inside of the building as well as the outside, just fantastic mod all the way around.
Yeah, and like the very first screenshot that's shown, so not the door to the left, but the door to the right. It looks like multiple doors. It actually
Yep.
it opens up kind of like an accordion. You know,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
which I think is awesome. I installed that right away.
Yeah, VX mapping coming out hard this week.
Oh yeah. Next one is gonna be BR Metal Shed. This is by GNFS. This is gonna be 10.25 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $10,000. I mean, this is a pass for me, honestly.
I mean, if you want something that's going to have, kind of keep your equipment out of the elements, then yeah, this isn't too bad. 11 megabytes to install, 10 grand to buy. It's definitely of the Brazilian style. But I mean, if you're playing on Matopiba or if you're doing, I mean, really, if you just like the style, I mean, go for it. It's not that resource intensive, nor is it that costly. So, you know, it's one of those that it's going to be up to the individual. I say go for it.
There's one thing I like about this shed. Just one thing.
Let's let's hear it.
It's one shed. So you just click on it and you go through all the customization. It's not like multiple sheds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is nice.
Let's see here. Next one. Oh, here we go with ICUS. It's gonna be the small American metal shed. This is by ICUS. This is gonna be five
I
point.
think we need to rename the show Agribusiness Tonight to the ICUS Hour.
Yeah. uh, this is gonna be 5.52 megabytes to download, and it's gonna cost you $40,000. I absolutely love this shed.
6 megabytes to install, 40 grand to buy. What's not to like about it? I mean, and you get solar panels as an option. I mean, yeah, ICUS. I mean, I feel like we just been kind of ripping the name, over and over and over again. Uh, yeah, this is definitely a solid mod, and just like the rest of ICUS's stuff, definitely worth the install.
Speaking of ICUS, you got the metal shed with workshop. This is by ICUS and Patty. This is going to be 6.20 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $90,000. I absolutely love this.
Double the modders, double the fun. We got, I mean, we got a workshop. It looks solid. It's got some racking in the one end of it. It just looks really good, and it's gonna be big enough to hold some of your biggest implements on it. Solar panels, 90 grand to buy, 7 megabytes to install. I mean, again, what's not to love? And it's got that big American presence to it. So yeah, it's really cool.
And also another big one too is that this is repair, repaint, sell, and customize.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be pigsty with a barn. This is by Radiax Games. This is going to be 9.14 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $20,000 and holds 20 pigs. It looks phenomenal, but this is a pass for me.
It does look really, really good. 10 megabytes to install and 20 grand to buy is not that bad. So if pigs are your thing, probably the closest comparable that we have, because this holds 20 pigs, uh, probably going to be the shed with pig pasture. It's probably going to be the closest one we have. So the shed with pig pasture holds 25 pigs. This holds 20. So the mod holds about 5 less. The shed with pig pasture, that has a price tag of $44,000. This has a price tag of $20,000. So you're spending $24,000 less and only getting room for 5 pigs less as well. So that's quite a significant savings. So overall, I think that this would be worth installing, even though it's 5 pigs less.
Right.
And it's really highly detailed too. You look at it, and it's got a whole bunch of weathering on the bricking. You've got the kind of ivy and vines growing up on sides of it. You've got the like wagon wheels and just kind of deco that's around it. I'm certain that this is going to have a high slot count because of all these little. There you go. But I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes when you get these kind of mods, it's worth that little splurge.
Right. Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be South American Classic Sheds. This is by JD Modding ARG.
Erg.
It's going to be 20.82 megabytes to download. You have a price range between 25,000 and 45,000. Because it comes with sheds and it also comes with a workshop, which is just repair and customize, no repaint or sell.
So 21 megabytes to install. Now, what I like about this is that you get the kind of different types of bricking for the siding. So you get what looks to be kind of a concrete, maybe a stucco kind of look here on the right-hand side, and then you get more of a traditional kind of classic brick on the left side of this screen here. It looks good. It does have a nice little look to it, but it is a very unique style that's going to be mainly for your South American Brazil style maps. So for that one, unless you're playing on like Matopiba, which is the only map I'm aware of for all platforms at the moment, that's South American. Unless you're playing on that, like I am, uh, it's not going to be one necessarily worth installing, unless you're just kind of looking for that kind of style. So
Right.
yeah, for me, it'd be a pass unless you're playing on Matopiba or a equivalent Brazilian or South American map.
Right. Right. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Farm Bakery. This is by DS Power. This is going to be 14.28 megabytes to download. There's a lot to this. You do have a price tag of $36,000. The one thing I do like though is that you can actually go inside of it.
Yes, so DS Power makes some really solid mods, and this one is no exception. So 15 megabytes to install, and you can see why. I mean, you can go inside of this particular bakery here, and it's got a ton of details to it. All the racks of breads and donuts and all the stuff that's kind of going on inside the shop there. It just looks really, really good. And it looks like it also produces other things. Let's see. Yeah, muffins and oh, and does rubbish too as like a byproduct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So croissants and pancakes and donuts and baguettes and yeah, I mean you got so much stuff that is going to be produced from this particular production. Yeah, DS Power I think did a really fantastic job with this one. I think it looks great, and it being only 15 megabytes to install. Yeah, I think this is worth installing.
Yeah. Plus also all the pallets and everything, they actually spawn inside on top of the counter.
That is cool. So it kind of has that little authenticity of realism.
Yep. So I really like that a lot. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Greenhouse and Nursery. This is by Gwendol. This is going to be 40.46 megabytes to download. There's a lot to this, and there's all different prices. But basically, you produce trees and plants.
So this when this came up, I was actually genuinely excited for this. Now, I'm hoping, I'm likely wrong, but I'm hoping that this is a sign of things to come from Gwendol. Gwendol is the map maker who made oh goodness, what is it called? Of course, now I'm going to blank on it as soon as I start to talk about it. Newlands. Made Newlands. And this was a late addition to Newlands, this particular greenhouse and nursery here. And this is incredible. You can make things like bonsai trees and different styles of trees, eucalyptus, cypresses. You can make flowers and all your standard kind of greenhouse kind of products as well. It does have additional inputs like fertilizers and seeds and things like that on top of the water. So it's nice. Now, the one thing I will say that I'm not a huge fan about this is that it's 41 megabytes to install. That's a very, very heavy, uh, file size for this style of production. But all that being said, it's all very unique looking items. You can see here with the kind of nursery theme of all the potted plants and all that stuff. It's not just a standard greenhouse. It's not just, that's retooled with different outputs. So all that being said, I struggle with the megabytes, but I could see myself kind of overlooking the megabytes because of how much you get out of this particular mod. So I would say yes, install with some trepidation.
Yep. I mean, I passed on it, but that's just me. Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard Bittern. Bittern? No. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that name.
You got it right. Better.
If you can pronounce that name, not you, but like anyone out there that's watching this, I mean, if you want to go ahead and try to pronounce that, feel free. But It is 3.54 megabytes to download, and price tag of $3,000.
You weren't talking about bitter, and you were talking about the creator's name.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I just whoosh just completely went right over my head when you were saying if you want to pronounce that name. It's like, you got it right, it's bitter, and what are you talking about?
Yeah, the body.
Oh my goodness.
Basically, what this is it's a
Dressic?
it is a maybe uh, this
Mm.
basically makes pig food. I mean, it's a pass for me. I know Looney Farm guy said this thing's broken.
Broken. Well, then no sense in running an opinion. So, next one.
Next one is going to be Wood Chip and Grass Silo. This is by Grimlock RRC. This is going to be 0.88 megabytes to download. Price tag is $20,000 and it holds 500,000 liters. This also, so this does wood chips and grass, of course, but it also does chaff. I mean, this is a pass for me. But
Yeah, I mean, this one, I'm not necessarily opposed to it because it's less than a megabyte to install. It's 20 grand to buy. But I mean, 500,000 liters of capacity for these particular products, specifically grass and chaff. Grass and chaff, you can get so much so fast that you're going to slam this thing full in the matter of one or two passes in a standard size field.
right,
Wood chips, yeah, maybe a little bit longer, but still you're going to slam this pretty full pretty quick. So it's one of those that I would pass because of the capacity itself. If you have the ability to add like silo extensions to kind of make this bigger, then maybe, because again, it's less than a megabyte. So it's not the end of the world for file size, and to piggyback off of it with something else would be fine. It's got a pretty standard look for the addition of like silo extensions and stuff, so you'd be able to very easily kind of match this up. So I guess I would be okay with installing this, but not gonna be like the first thing I run to grab.
right, right. Exactly. Next one is going to be the Chocolate Factory. This is also by Grimlock RRC. This is going to be 16.09 megabytes to download. Price tag of $70,000. And it does show the capacities right there. This is the pass for me, honestly.
I mean, I like the building. I think it looks really good. 17 megabytes to install. It's got a really sharp look. You've got the kind of mixture of the what looks to be kind of stucco and brick on both ends of the factory there. I think it looks fantastic. I'm not big into the whole milk, dairy kind of sugar, like everything it would take to make chocolate. So this would be a pass for me just for that reason alone. But it's not bad. Like, it's 17 megabytes. It's not a big file size. It's 70 grand to buy. If you're into making chocolate and the sugar and the milk and the this, that, and the other, then hey, this might be a good one for you.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's just not something on my alley.
Yep.
Next one is going to be the Lizard Export Company. This is by Nico M. This is going to be 2.39 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $50,000. It's a sell point.
Yeah,
And,
it's a sell point.
and you can basically almost sell everything here.
I like it. There's one thing that, how do I say this? I'm a huge fan of the Sell Everything by
Schultz
oh my
modding.
goodness, who made that one? What's that?
Schultz modding.
Schultz modding. I love that mod. I wish that it had a bit more detail to it. Like the shipping containers and stuff that goes with it, that's fine and dandy, but I just wish there was just a little oomph to it. And I feel like this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to that oomph part of it. 3 megabytes to install, 50 grand. Now that's the only downside I can see to this one is that it costs $50,000 to put this in, but it also makes sense because you're basically building a building kind of thing. So you're going to have an expense to that. So it's one of those. It's going to have its trade offs. You know, you can get the sell everything for $1,000 and bloop, there it is, or you can have this and be able to kind of build the immersion that belongs to it, which I like it. I think that this is worth installing, and especially for less than 3 MB.
Oh, I agree. I do. Next one is going to be Shop ABC. This is by Raider. This is going to be 16.51 megabytes to download. Costs has a price tag of $30,000. There is one thing I love about this. You can go inside of it.
How did I know that that was going to be the one thing that you toned in on?
How many cell points do you know you can go inside of?
Not too many. It's actually very rare. But I mean, we can also say the same thing about houses.
Yeah, which we got some of them too.
So 17 megabytes to install this one. It's a sell point, 30 grand to buy. Now, when I first saw this, I immediately got the wrong impression on this particular mod, and it's nothing to do with the mod. It's nothing to do with the map maker, anything along those lines. It's me. I live in an area where there are ABC stores in my local area, and they are of the adult beverage variety. That's all you get from these stores. So when I saw this, I immediately just thought of, oh, hey, we're now getting,
Right.
adult beverages here in game. And then it's like, oh, hey, it's a sell point. It's even closer to what I'm thinking. And then I'm like, oh, no way, it's just for food. Okay.
Where?
So, yeah. 17 megabytes, it's a bit rich for the sell point aspect of this. I do like it, and I can see where the 17 megabytes is going because you can go inside of it. It's got the kind of parking structure, it's got additional details on the outside. It's a solid looking building, but as it stands, likely would be a pass, specifically because of the kind of restrictions as to what can be sold.
I mean, I do love it, but I passed on it. Next one is going to be Barn with Garage. This is by Clonic. This is
What'd you call me?
This is going to be 20.85 megabytes to download. There's a price tag of $35,000. This looks absolutely phenomenal, but I passed on it though.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. It looks absolutely amazing. The brickwork, the multiple styles of brickwork is fantastic. The kind of aging and weathering on the doors, you can see just how kind of, worn out and run down they are. The interior kind of rafters and stuff that's on there, the detail within the brickwork itself, the kind of diamonds and the archways going in and around the actual building itself. Fantastic looking mod. It is absolutely stunning. 21 megabytes to install, though, is a bit rich for just a building. 35 grand is not too bad for a price for said building, but I would definitely pass on it as well just because of the megabytes. It's gorgeous, but at the end of the day, it's a set of sheds.
Right, right. So your next one is going to be Slurry Filling Station with and without slurry purchase. What a name.
No,
This is by Der Halbrofree. Oh,
now I know you're making fun of me.
this is going to be 0.83 megabytes to download. So the first one, which is under containers, has a price tag of $1,500. And then the other one, which is under decoration, has a price tag of $1,000. I passed on this, honestly.
I mean, less than a megabyte to install and $1,500 to buy. If you're looking for a buy point for slurry, this is it. It's
Oh yeah.
cheap, doesn't cost that much. I say this is a good mod. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something you're looking for, then yeah. I mean, it's not something I personally am looking for. That's why I pass on it. Benji says, "Good evening, my good sir." Next one is going to be Shed with a Chicken Coop.
Do you mind if I catch up with the chat just real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Beauty. So we got Samuel saying Red Bull. Oh, I know. So I actually stopped drinking Red Bull a while ago. I drink very specific drinks now when it comes to energy drinks, specifically of all the dyes and stuff that they put into them. So I stick with the Monster Whites and the and Ghosts. Those are the ones I tend to drink nowadays. Jonah with the 4.99 super chat. Thank you, Jonah, so much. Hope you are having a fantastic day so far. Says, I made it back from Florida. Yes, you did. And the reason I wanted to go ahead and read this out real quick is I actually got to meet Jonah in real life.
Nice.
Yeah, just the other day. It was what? Friday. It was on Friday. Went and met up for lunch. So had a good chat with him. Really really good dude, and also got to meet a friend of his. Big shout out to Wyatt. Uh, Glad you both made it home safe. Benji, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says good evening, everyone. Good evening, Benji. Brady, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic one as well. Says hello, everyone. Ken says in 2 days I will be back on FS25. LOL. That's awesome, Ken. Can't wait to see you on there. Also says we'll have a lot of catching up to do. Oh, you'll have a lot of catching up to do. And what's really cool is you're gonna have a ton of mods to come back to.
Oh yeah.
Nacho Cast, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says B double D. Ooh, I like that. B double D. I'm gonna have to. You know what? I might have to rethink that. Anyways, Benji says woof woof. Benji, we got Ken saying at least that grass and wood chip silo isn't a 1.3 LOL. No, it is not a 1.3. Not a 1.3 at all. Like I said, I'm kind of wishy-washy on it in one way or another, but it's all good. Nacho with a bark bark. I think him and Benji are going at it. And then we got Samuel with tomorrow night NCAA College Basketball Championship game, Florida versus Houston. Start time at 7:50. Ooh, Florida Gators. Nice. And I'm all caught up with the chat.
Nice.
Okay, one more. I'm sorry. This just popped up. Nacho says, LOL, come on. Everybody loves B double D's.
Oh my gosh.
And now we can get back to it. I'm
Well,
such a child. Oh my goodness.
I actually
It doesn't help that I'm tired.
I actually have a song on my phone that I haven't listened to in ages, and I was just going through my playlist, and I ended up playing, and I'm like, oh, I completely forgot I had this.
Uh-oh. Do I dare ask?
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Okay.
It has to do with what they were talking about, but it has like basically different names for it, basically.
Oh, geez. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Um, yo, but one one of these days, I mean, we'll definitely have to do like a meetup one of these days.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Shed with a Chicken Coop. This is by RadX Games. This is me 3.85 megabits to download. Price tag of $12,000. A capacity of 70 chickens. I mean, if you're start from scratch, this is fantastic.
Oh, 100%. 100%. 4 megabytes to install, 70 chickens, and 12 grand to install it. I mean, that is dirt, dirt cheap for a chicken, chicken coop. So, and this is like a kind of more traditional chicken coop. You can tell or not you can tell, you can look at the kind of base game comparables, and the closest one we have for capacity would be really none of them. I mean, the biggest one we have without going into the big barn is 31. So you're talking more than double the space for this particular mod. The barn that we get access to is 360 chickens, so that's why I kind of breezed over that one. But looking back at this, I mean, you're talking 70 chickens, so you're talking more than double the capacity. Now, the problem is that The base game one is $2,450. So you can get basically 3 of the base game ones and still be cheaper than the 70 capacity that this one brings. But this is much nicer looking. It's not just a fence with a feed point.
Right.
So all in all, I would say this is an install all day, all night. But I will throw a little proviso in there. Looking at these pictures, you see the John Deere that's kind of, wedged inside the barn there. I just every time I see this, when I first saw this, I immediately thought chicken pancakes. I mean, you see there's about a dozen chickens just standing in front of that tractor, and chickens are not the smartest birds in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a step above a turkey, which if you look at a turkey a good day, I mean, they'll just stare up into the sky and drown.
Yeah.
They're not that smart.
Dude, I didn't tell you about that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I'm so I left work. I'm headed over to my parents, right? So this is like the last weekend for me weekend. It's on a Saturday. And I'm driving. And all of a sudden, I just see these 2 turkeys in the side road. They keep looking at each other. And then they literally start like following the traffic with their heads almost. And then literally as soon as there was a clear spot, they literally started, like, the first one started taking off real fast and the other one started following. The other one literally halted to a stop. And then the other one, because I almost hit the turkey. It literally launched up in the air and just didn't even neck the car. It almost did. It was like right over top. I'm like, oh.
Jeez. I got a funny turkey story for you. It's not mine. It's actually my father's. So when my father was younger, he and his family owned a cabin up in northern Michigan, and it was out in the middle of nowhere. It was just basically the perfect, country kind of living scene. And he had, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he had 5 brothers and 1 sister. So pretty decent sized family.
Yeah.
Well, he's walking down one of the paths that's leading out towards the lake because they lived by a lake. And he's walking down towards it, and all of a sudden he starts hearing, gunshots. It's like boom, 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 and it's like, well, what's going on here? So he wanders over to it, and it's one of his older brothers. And he's shooting off into the distance, and he's like, taps him on the shoulder. He's like, "What are you doing?" And his brother looks at him. He's like, "There's a turkey in that tree, and I want it for dinner." So, so he takes a couple more shots, and my dad apparently grabs the shotgun from him because apparently he missed every single shot. All of a sudden, my dad, takes a couple of shells, he racks it into it, and he lets out a turkey, sticks its head out, boom, drops it. But it was just the way that he told the story is like a and the turkey's like, huh? Again, turkeys are not bright. They're very dumb creatures.
Dude, no, I just think it's funny because they literally were like looking at each other like back and forth, like literally like saying like, okay, should we go? Should we go? Hey, look at this car. Hey, look at this one. And then they literally were like following the traffic to see like the perfect break. The one turkey I saw, it literally like halted and ran backwards. And the other one launched and flew right over top of the thing like it was like, oh, no.
I'll put it to you this way. Turkeys are so dumb that if they weren't so darn delicious, they'd be extinct.
Yeah. Right.
Their deliciousness are the only reason why they exist.
Right.
What's funny is they say that that's actually a thing. I know we keep going on this tangent, but this is one I want to explore just really fast. So gators, alligators down here in Florida, really just down the south. There was a while there where they're actually starting to depopulate and they were starting to become rare, like to the point of actually like starting to go on to the like endangered species list and stuff.
Right.
And it wasn't until they realized that gator is delicious. Tastes like chicken.
Oh boy.
And they start serving them at restaurants and stuff. And then all of a sudden people are just like, hey, we gotta save these things. Let's help them. And sure enough, they start doing gator farms and all this stuff, and now all of a sudden gators are everywhere. You want to save a creature, eat it.
Right. Right. All right. All right. All right. Let's get a crack out of it. Next one's going to be One Honey Shed. This is by Zero Farmer. This is going to be 6.05 megabytes to download. So you have one that holds 4, which is $800, and one holds 6, which is $1,000. This is very unique, and I do like it.
I think this looks fantastic. It's a nice little wooden shed for your honey. I mean, what's not to like about it? 7 megabytes to install, and you can have room to up to 6 pallets for $1,000. I mean, again, just looking at our kind of bases, you only have access to one spawn point for honey, and I think you can only get 2 pallets to spawn in it for $200. I mean, and it's just a basic, just kind of blunk, there it is. So I think this is fantastic and certainly a huge upgrade over the base game one. So this is install worthy.
Next one is going to be Old Polish House. This is by Radx Games again. This is going to be 5.82 megabytes to download. Price tag of $20,000. It looks very, very nice. But the one thing that I am going to say though is that this house is 51 slots, and the only thing that's enterable is the garage.
Yeah, so 51 slots, 6 megabytes to install, 20 grand. I mean, that's not bad on the size and it's not bad on the price. That slot count, though, holy smokes. Now, I got to point this out. The very first picture where it shows the kind of house split in half, tell me that's not the house visualization of Two-Face. Just saying. Just saying. I'm just waiting for him to flip a coin and saying, okay, Batman, it's your turn.
Right.
Anyways, I would pass on this. I'm not really huge on the look itself, but I mean, all in all, it's not that bad. The slot count though is really high, but is very, very highly detailed. So all in all, it's going to be down to the individual, but me personally, it's going to be a pass.
Oh yeah. Next one is going to be Queenslander Farmhouse. This is by 2-Bit Modding. This is going to be 22.42 megabytes to download. Now you do have one of them, so you have the farmhouse itself, which is this is like the decoration one, I believe it is, which is 35,000. Then you have the actual house itself, which is 55,000. This is a pass for me.
Is it because it's not enterable?
Well, that's one, but two, I just don't like it.
No, I hear you there. I've I have nothing against the design of it. It definitely has an interesting look to it. Almost looks like what you would see is down here with stilt houses, or what we call stilt houses down here in Florida. You see them on the coast all the time, and they are built up like a whole floor, and they're just literally on giant concrete pillars. That's what this kind of reminds me of, except it looks like it has fencing around the bottom of it as well, which is pretty uncommon down here. But I mean, all in all, it doesn't look that bad, and it's something I would probably end up skipping just because 23 megabytes for a house, and again for a house with a specific style to it that we don't have a map that kind of fits to it yet. So if we get a map that's kind of the more Australian in style, then I could see this kind of being, nice to have, but it's going to be a pass.
Right, right. Next one is just House. This is by A2. It's gonna be 14.12 megabytes to download. Price tag of $100,000. Yep, no, pass.
Yeah. 15 megabytes to install, 100 grand to buy. It's again, it keeps falling into that. It's got a very specific style, which I understand. There's going to be, all these mods are going to be built with specific intents and all that stuff. So it's not something I'm going to harp on too badly, for the most part. But 15 megabytes for a house that you can't go into, it's got a nice look to it though. So it's going to be again up to the individual. But for me, it's going to be a pass.
Plus the triggers are missing.
Oh, that's a problem.
I mean, they're there, but they're not there. So like, so for example, it's like how you place at a farmhouse, and you can see like the sleep trigger and like the wardrobe trigger, right?
Hmm.
Like you can't see them there, but they're there. So
So what you're saying is that they're wearing the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter.
yes.
There you go.
Let's see here. Next one's gonna be a GDR House EW65. This is by Hellraiser. This is gonna be love the name, but it's gonna be 8.56 megabytes to download. Price tag $43,750. I mean, this is a pass for me.
I mean, 9 megabytes to install and less than 50 grand to buy. I mean, it's not that bad when you kind of look at it with those kind of objectives. So it's got a nice little design. I like the kind of stucco work on it, the texturing. Uh, yeah, I would install this, but it's not enterable, so that's kind of the minus to it.
Yeah, it's FS25 people. Make it bearable. Next one's gonna be Home Carpet. This is by Uncle Sly. This is gonna be 0.36 megabytes to download. Price tag $15. I love this. You can place it
Love
anywhere.
it. Yeah, love this. So people are familiar with the doormat that you can have to just place in front of any house or anything on the map, and now you have a sleep trigger. Well, this is the doormat with extra steps. It's got the rocking chair, it's got the deco that's all around it. I like that. I just think that this is like taking that concept to the next level, and
Right.
less than a megabyte to install, $15 to buy, and then all of a sudden you can make any home into your sleep point. Fantastic.
Plus, there's an issue with this mod.
Ah,
No,
what's the issue?
it's not a major issue. So I think the modder meant to put the collision over the chair, but instead of putting the collision on the chair, he put it dead center. So you can't actually like walk over the carpet. I mean, you can walk through the chair, but you can't walk over the carpet.
Are you still able to access the trigger?
Yeah,
Oh, well then, yeah, I mean, slight inconvenience, but not the end of the world. As long as it's still like functional as the sleep trigger, then it is what it is.
right. Next one is Old German Cellar. This is also by Hellraiser. This is going to be 7.36 megabytes to download. So you have the silo itself, price tag $2,500. You have capacity of 20,000 liters, and then you have the cellar for selling food, $2,500. This is a pass for me.
I mean, if you're looking for something that's kind of an interesting storage spot for potatoes, then this is gonna be a nice one. 8 megabytes to install, 25,000 or $2,500 to buy for a 200 no 20,000 20,000 liter capacity. So I mean, you're not gonna have a lot of storage. I mean, you can take up 20,000 liters of potato storage in about 1/10 of an acre here in game.
Right.
But I mean, in all seriousness, it's a nice little silo, and it's kind of a unique take on a silo. So that being said, if you're big into potatoes, you're big into root crops, this is definitely going to be something worth checking out. So I would say that all in all, I would install this if I was more into potatoes. Sure.
No, I'm not going to go over this, but there was an update to the Hardy Navigator 4000 Delta Force. That's by Giant Software. Then there was also one for the Finnish Sheep Barn by Yamo. Next one is going to be Oberschwaben by Jogi. This is going to be 350.48 megabytes to download. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 required mods. This, I watched your map tour. This is a very beautiful map.
5 out of 5. Love this map. And I'll just throw this out there. Yogi is one of the best map makers when it comes to beauty. There's something about their maps that's just the next level. They made some of the prettiest maps in FS22, and I'm so glad that we now have this one here on FS25. I almost didn't recognize this map because this was a map that we had in FS22, but this one had so many tweaks and so many kind of alterations that it just kicked it up to the next level.
It feels like
Yes, because of the road networks. If we go back there, because of the different road network. So let me actually backtrack just slightly. I love it when map makers put the delineations in the style of roads. And what I mean by that is you got these different color lines here that indicate the road types that you're going on. The yellow road is the main kind of highway, the 2-lane highway that cuts through the middle of the map. Green is the kind of single lane, kind of concreted roads. And then pink are the 2 tracks, the kind of dirt roads that you have available to you. I love that delineation. It makes it to where the road network stands out. You know exactly where you can and cannot go. So that I absolutely love. On top of that, just like I said, the nature of this map, the undulations, the pitches, the rolls, the color palette, everything about this map hits with full force. I love this map, and I think it's an amazing addition here to FS25.
yeah. Plus you missed that one thing too.
And of course, you're got to throw that one in there.
Dude, I still can't figure out what it's for.
No clue.
Yeah, dude.
No clue.
I'm not even kidding you. I literally spent almost 2 hours trying to figure out what it was for, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
I even asked Mr. Silly Pete, and he said he had no idea.
So, you know what? Maybe I missed it on purpose. Maybe I just knew that it was just impossible mystery to solve. So I was like, no, not going to spend my time on it. Maybe I'm a super genius, a genius, as some may call it.
Okay.
I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT.
So the next one is going to be the callbatcher. Is that how you pronounce it? Callbatcher. Winter equipment.
Old Bacher?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna say
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say the winter equipment. This is by ITS or it's. It's
Is there going to be a little red clown over my shoulder?
no. It is 41.38 megabytes to download. I can see where they're coming from this, but dude, I'm telling you what, they could have easily just made one snowplow and just added different customizations to it.
So, I am going to have a hot take here. I think this is 42 megabytes too big.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, and look, I might be the only one who doesn't care about winter equipment whatsoever. I mean, what's that?
I just use base game stuff, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to invest both the storage capacity and the money to have the kind of specialized blowers and plows and thises and that's for something that's only going to be useful for 1, 2, possibly 3 months in game. And I'm certainly not going to have so much investment to where I'm going to be like, oh, hey, I've got to clear out the driveway. Oh, hey, I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Now, if there's some kind of immersion factor, like I'm building a story through one of my series and whatnot, then maybe I'll deal with snow. Maybe I'll deal with like the kind of things that you can do with it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think I maybe speaking out of turn here, but I think most of us likely just kind of skip through the winter months for the most part and doing only the bare minimum of what we have to do to get to the spring and summer to actually farm.
No, I agree with
I could
that.
be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's my 2 cents.
Well, moving on.
Moving on.
The next one is going to be the Plymouth Raptor pack. This is by HR Force. This is going to be 32.91 megabytes to download.
One of my favorite modern names of all time, HR Forst und Wunsugbau. Oh, yes, I love that name. I don't know why, but it's just one of the most unique pronouncing names that one can have. It's 33 megabytes for a pack that is HR Force and Versorgbau is very tree heavy. They're almost exclusively into the whole tree logging aspect in game. This mod is not wide enough for me to be like, okay, I want to be able to spend 35 megabytes, 33 megabytes to have a self-propelled stump grinder. And because of that, it's going to be a skip for me.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Now,
Next.
I will say, HR Frost and Versorgbau, they have great mods.
Oh, yeah.
This one is no exception to that. It's just I'm not so deep into the forestry game where I'm going to get a lot of this specialized equipment for the forestry aspect.
Well, no, I got you. I got you on that one. Next one is going to be the TerraFlex 3020 pack. This is by FS Play. This is going to be 6.33 megabytes to download. Price tag $42,500. Working with 7.5 meters. You can have it in New Holland or case headers.
I mean, 7 megabytes, and you can have a 7.5 meter header for $43,000. I mean, it's a case. What's not to love?
Next one is going to be the Gens BA 725D. This is by Tom 94ger. I don't know what that's supposed to be. This is going to be 10.46 megabytes to download. Um, this thing is actually pretty neat.
I think that's supposed to be Tom Dagger, maybe?
Maybe.
Nah. Anyways,
Yeah, but you can do like bales, logs, sugar beets, stuff like that.
yeah, this one I like. I like this one a lot. 11 megabytes to install and $102,000 to buy. It's expensive, but like you said, it has more tricks up its sleeve than just a normal stump grinder. So you can do your normal stumps, that's all fine and dandy. You can do sugar beets, straw, grass, you know, you can break up your bales, the whole 9 yards. Like this thing does like quite a bit of stuff. And because of that, I installed this, I like it, and yeah, it's definitely worth the size and storage space.
Next one is going to be the Lizard Neo pack. This is by Notary. This is going to be 101.92 megabytes to download. Now, me personally, I actually installed this. I do like this pack. It's very highly detailed.
Uh, 101, 102 megabytes to install. It has a disc harrow, it has a roller, subsoiler, cultivators. I mean, yeah, it's nice. It is highly detailed. I'll 100% grant you that. But it's 102 megabytes to install. I mean, oh my goodness. Everything else about it's fine. If these were individual components, I would have zero complaints whatsoever. But I'm not going to use a disc harrow. I might use the roller. I probably won't use the subsoiler because I like the like Lizard 6MT, 9MT, 12MT. The cultivators, again, I probably won't use those in base game because there's no incentive to use anything besides a subsoiler in base game. So, yeah, it's just one of those where 102 megabytes, I just cannot justify it whatsoever. And I'm sorry, the Lizard Neo pack, I just immediately think of the Matrix.
Neo, you are the one.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Nardi Trail Plow. This is by Peppa 978. This is going to be 4.56 megabytes to download. You have two of them. So you have the BT2, which is $7,500, and the BT3, which is $8,700. This is the pack
All right.
for me.
Not only is this a pass, but 1.3. Do you see the reference? Do you see it?
No.
Working with BT2 1.0 meters, working with
No.
BT3 1.3.
That is perfect for your small farm shenanigans.
Small farm shenanigans. How could we ever forget about those? No. I mean, in all seriousness, 5 megabytes to install. If you're looking for a small plow, then this is going to be fine and dandy. But I mean, it's a chiselback, so that one, I mean, automatically misses the mark. Again, just go with the 6MT, 9MT, 12MT. I mean, if you're really really looking to be feisty, and I'm talking like really really feisty, go with the Lizard 6M. I mean, at the end of the day, those are far superior than any chiselback out there on the market.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. This one's going to be multi-fruit container plus multi-lift pack. This is by Raleigh Christie one. Yes, modding, sir. It's going to be 12.22 megabytes to download. This was a pass for me. It was
So,
broken.
what's that?
It was broken. According to Looney Farm Guy, it was broken.
Oh, dare they? So, all right. 13 megabytes to install. That's not that bad considering everything that's a part of this. You got the hook lift trailer, you got the tipper, you got a couple flatbeds, and you got the liquids tanker. It's I like this mod in concept, but the next mod I like even more than this one because there's a lot more stuff with it. And this one in particular, because of how limited it is, I would pass on it and I'd go with the next one.
Speaking of the next one, it's going to be the IT Runner Pack. This is by Honor Emre. 17.27 megabytes to download.
I love this pack. I've always loved this pack. This pack I got introduced to in FS19. And it caused me so many headaches in a good way. So what I loved about it was the kind of utilitarian usage of the individual components. You spend a ton of money just getting the base body of this, but then all the individual components after that is dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. It's this hook lift trailer component that's really expensive. But all the other stuff just it works great. I loved this pack back in FS19, loved it in 22, and I'm glad to see it's here again in 25. But you got like the manure spreader, the slurry spreader. You got a couple of flat deck trailers. You got a tipper back trailer. I think that's supposed to be a forage trailer, and another kind of a kipper trailer as well. I think this is fantastic. It's an absolutely fantastic mod. Um, yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it.
Um, yeah, because you have like a smaller tipper, a log trailer, and then you have like a bale trailer, and then you have like it's a liquid tanker. You can also use this as a slurry spreader. Then you got regular, like a larger tipper, a forage tipper, and then a manure spreader. So
And just the concept of this style of machine, I just like this because you can have just the one kind of base unit, but you can have so many other kind of modules that go along with this unit to make this just a hugely dynamic piece of machinery. Like I said, you can have multiple different styles of fertilization. You can have, the log trailers, the flat decks, the tipper trailers. I mean, it's fantastic, and I'm hoping that down the line we'll get some of the additional components to this as well, such as the mixing wagons to where you can feed your cows, and there was other components that came out as a kind of addendum to this one in previous years. I'm hoping that that's coming out uh, later, so we'll see.
I mean, I overthink it's a great pack. It is. It's phenomenal. It's just not my type of the way I play. So it passed for me. Next one is going to be the brochured pack. This is by Nico Do 55. It's going to be 42.72 megabytes to download. It's just a bunch of trailers, and you got one that has like an auger on the back of it. This would be a pass for me.
Hard pass. 43 megabytes for some trailers. I mean, yeah, they look great. They've got the let me see how they've got that nice little mechanism in the back to lift the doors out of the way and stuff. But all in all, I'm not a huge fan of brochured, but it's nothing against them. It's just not a brand I'm familiar with. So I'm not going to spend the 43 megabytes to install it.
Right. No, I hear you there. Next one is going to be the Flegel Timber Runner Pack. This is by HR Force and Forschuchbau. This is going to be 17.76 megabytes to download. I'm not big into forestry, so this is going to be a hard pass for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, if you're into forestry, then this is a good pack. The Flegel line is a real good, semi truck trailer line for logging. Yeah, there's nothing in particular wrong with this. This does have a load of different components to it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you get all sorts of different configurations. You get the 2A, 3AK, 3A, 3AL, like all these different, modules and stuff that you can kind of, grow and expand your lineup. But 18 megabytes to install it, I, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. If you're looking for wood trailers, I think this is a good pack, and it's gonna have a load of different ones for you to choose from. So, all in all, yeah, I would install this if you're a big tree person. But outside of that, if you're not, then it's a hard pass and a skip.
Joseph says, howdy. He says, there is no audio. What do you mean there's no audio? Can you not hear
No
me?
audio. Like no audio in your stream? Oh, it has to be from your stream.
Oh, hang on. Let's see here. Oh, that's going to make me question myself here.
Well, here, while you're
He says, I
looking
can't
at
hear
that real
you.
quick,
How can you not hear me? He says he hears you.
here's me.
Yeah.
Here's my sultry voice. Let's see. Well, while you're looking at that, I'm going to catch up with my chat just real quick. Samuel says 46 subs out. Nice. On my channel. And very nice, Samuel. Congratulations. Good job. The Herd, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It says, hey, hey. Hey there, hey there. Nacho says, what up, Rambo peeps? Let's see, we got Ken says, hey there, Herd. Caught your live stream the other day. Got Rambo Hacker Gaming. How's it going, Rambo? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. It says, hey there, what's up in the business world of Farm Sim? Oh, man, we've got a lot of stuff going on here tonight. We got Ken saying thanks for the shout-out, Herd. We got Herd says, hey, Ken, thank you. Appreciate that. We got Samuel with Yum Chicken, right? Right? The Herd says, Ken, my pleasure, man, every time. We got Samuel says, yep, good food, yum, alligator. Yeah, it's delicious. It is delicious. If you've never had gator before, try it. Try some gator bites. Next time anybody comes down to Florida, get yourself some good gator bites. It's delicious. It's so good. So good. Let's see. We got Joseph. How's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, does Will stream? Yes, he does. He streams here on YouTube and over on Twitch. Steinerator24, if I'm not mistaken, Will?
It's Steinerator24. Yeah, on Twitch.
Steinerator24. We got Ken says, Joseph Will T is streaming right now. This is also true. Rambo Hacker Gaming with the member chat says, especially when you have the Batwing from Gaming Joy, that does stump grinding really well. Not only does it do stump grinding really well, but I kind of stumbled on a little bit of a trick with that thing. If you actually back up to a tree, doesn't even have to be like a stump, it could be a full-blown tree. If you back up to it under the destroy mode, instant deletion. Instant delete. Love that. If you stumbled on a bunch of area and little bit of a trick with that thing, if you actually back up
you don't want like wood
to
chips or
a tree, doesn't even have to be like a stump. It could be a full-blown tree.
That one is,
if you back up to it,
fantastic.
Under the destroy mode, instant
only
deletion.
bugger is you got to back up
Instant
to things.
delete.
But if you're halfway decent at backing
Love
up, then
that.
it's
If
not
you
bad.
stumbled on
a bunch of area,
a
and
little
you
bit of a
don't
trick
want
with that
any
thing,
kind of,
if you actually
components
back
to it,
up
you don't want, like, wood
to
chips or
a
something,
tree,
Jonah,
doesn't
where
even
you-
that. You got Ken says, will T
have
like
be like a
tree
stump. It could be a
full-blown tree.
That one
If
is
you back up to it,
fantastic.
under the destroy mode, instant
Only
deletion.
bugger is you got to
So
back
far,
up to
instant
things.
delete.
But if you're
Jonas says,
halfway
howdy gold gaming. Joseph said, thank you. Joseph
decent
said,
at backing
love
up,
that.
stream has-
If you stumbled on a bunch of area,
let's
little bit of a
see,
trick with that thing. If you actually back up
Jonas
to
says,
a tree,
and
doesn't
where
even
your
package are
got
interchangeable.
Ken says,
Like
be
a
like
tree
stump.
stump,
It could be a
don't
full-blown
turn
tree.
speed.
That one
If
is
you
like
back
it.
up to it,
Fantastic.
under the destroy mode, instant
Only
deletion.
bugger is you
Yeah.
got to back up
Yeah,
to things.
that's,
But
Jonas says, howdy gold
definitely
gaming.
something that you want to
Joseph said,
avoid.
thank you.
Is,
Joseph
uh,
said,
love
turning
that.
his
If
head.
you stumbled on a
little bit of a trick with that thing.
Just
If you actually
just
subscribe to a tree, Jonas says you're not caught up anymore. I didn't say I was caught up, Jonah. You're jumping the gun. Stop it.
Yo,
Stop it.
hang on 1 second there, BDD.
Don't turn speed. That one if you back up to it,
fantastic.
under the destroy mode, instant
Oh, yeah.
That's
Definitely something that you want to avoid.
Thank you.
Is,
Joseph said,
love
turning
that.
his
If
head.
you
Stumbled on a little bit of a trick with that
uh,
thing. If you actually just subscribe to trees. Everything okay over there?
I'm trying to see here if everything is okay.
Definitely something that you want to avoid.
Thank you.
Is,
Joseph
love
turning
that.
his
If
head.
you
Stumbled on a little bit of a trick
uh,
with that thing. If you actually just subscribe to trees. Can everyone else
Everything okay
confirm that over on Will's stream that he's not piping any audio out? Just out of curiosity.
Thank you.
Is,
turning his head.
Stumbled on.
Okay, I just checked. I can hear myself. Like, I can hear myself in the stream. It's just not very loud.
Huh.
Oh, boy.
I mean, you sound crystal clear on my end.
Let's see here. Samuel Wilkinson Jr. says hi. He also says, I'm just subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. He says, me too, showing support. I appreciate that too, Joseph. Thank you for subscribing. Can you guys hear me at all? Because I just listened to it and I can hear myself. Let's see here.
So Rambo Hacker said you should have some cricket sounds on standby. Yeah, right. Uh, Joseph, you can, yeah, can someone check? Nacho says, can you add some gain to the mic? Let's see. Rambo says, I hear you both on your stream. Okay, okay. So yeah, it looks like things should be good to go there,
Oh,
Will. It
yeah.
sounds like they're picking it up.
Yeah, Go Gaming says, I hear you. Joseph says, zero sound. Rambo Hacker says, I hear you both on your streams. Sounds fine.
Yep.
Give me a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Joseph, it might be your end because I just checked everything on my end. My end's just fine.
Yeah, worst case scenario there, Joseph, go ahead and like back out of the stream and come back in and see if that potentially fixes it. Anyways, you want to keep on going?
Yeah, Go Gaming just says turn Dave down on Discord.
Am I coming in booming?
Let's see here. Say something there, BDD.
Check 1 2, check 1 2, testing testing, Roger Roger.
How's that? He does overpower you a lot. Weird, I don't hear any audio. Not sure. Yep, you're just a lot quieter than... Oh yeah, I'm just a lot quieter than BDD. Alright, I just turned him down, so hopefully that's good. Alright, let's continue.
My voice. Boom.
Booms like God.
The voice of Thor beckons.
You're the same level now. Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
So your next one is going to be Clark G Tank. That's a very weird name, but okay. This is by Woodcraft Modding. This is me 2.75 megabytes to download. Price tag of 6,130 liters. I mean dollars. Wow. And it holds 990 liters.
It's a mobile gas tank. I like it. I like this a lot, actually. You know, for 3 megabytes to install and $7,000 to buy, well, just over 6. I mean, yeah, it's a mobile gas tank. So it's mainly used for forestry, but you don't have to use it for just forestry. You can, pick this up with any kind of claw mechanism, and you can take it out into the field if you got a, vehicle that's run out of gas or something like that. I mean, yeah, I like this. This is a good little mod, and it's got a cool little look to it. Like, you can just see that this thing is just built like a tank.
Right.
I like it. I think this is definitely worth the install.
Gold Gaming says boom.
Boom.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be Custom Bale Support Pack. This is by BB Mods. This is going to be 13.45 megabytes to download. This is a pass for me.
I mean, it's 14 megabytes to install, and it's basically a modified version of all the base equipment that we get for the round bales, square bales, wrappers, and so on. It's added the custom bale sizes, so it's got all the individual like the 180 to 189 centimeter rounds to the 240 to 249 squares, and like it's got those weird funky numbers that will support things kind of later on down the road, and I think it's the ultimate mowing and baling pack that this is going to support. So I mean, it's one of those that I like that it's here and that it's kind of bracing for impact kind of thing. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this. It's 14 megabytes, so it's not that large, and you get all these different kinds of equipment, as well as color selectability and all that stuff. I would install this. I think I did install this.
I didn't. Next one is going to be Pellet Add-on. This is by DD Mob Passion. It's going to be 13.16 megabytes to download.
I like this one. 14 megabytes, and you can skip the whole pallet forks. It's essentially all this is it allows you to just quick connect to the pallet itself without having the actual pallet fork. So you're not having to be so uber precise with your lifting and trying to skewer the pallet and all that stuff. So it's one of those, like, if you're just looking to kind of get through and just kind of not have to be as precise, then this is a good one for you. If you're one of those players who likes hyperrealism and whatnot, this is not going to be the mod for you whatsoever.
Oh,
All in all, 14 megabytes for the kind of added functionality of being able to quick connect to these pallets. I like it. Uh, I did install it, but am not opposed to the installation itself. So yeah, it's one of those, like, it's going to be down to the individual and how their gaming style kind of goes.
I do want to say, if you do have this installed, be aware, be very aware, because the second you install this and you use this, that your bales are not liftable. I mean, your pallets are not liftable anymore from yours.
Yes.
Let's see here. Next one's gonna be Old School Pack. This is by Icus. Oh, love it. This is gonna be 27.84 megabytes to download. I absolutely love this pack.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. 28 megabytes to install, and you get one, two, three, four separate components.
5.
Is it five? Did I miscount?
No, it only
One,
shows
two.
4, but there's 5 buildings.
Lycus, how dare you? Anyways, I mean, it's Icus. I mean, let's face it. Icus has some brilliant looking mods, and this is no exception. I love the kind of dirt scale that's built up on the side of these buildings. Again, it just looks like it's lived in. It's been around for a while, but it's not been around so long to where you're getting that paint chipping like in the mod that we saw earlier from what was it? VX modding, was it?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's like that kind of butter zone of not brand new, but not been around for decades kind of thing. I think this is great. I think Icus makes some brilliant mods, and here we go with some more. Again, we're gonna have to rename this show to the Icus Hour.
So on the 1, 2, 3, 4, on the 5th screenshot, and you can see like the UE shed right there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually made the perfect thing out of this. So I actually put 2 of the fermenting silos with the pipes sticking inwards. So all you do is back right up, dump, and then go. And then you can just pull right around, load up, and then leave.
Ooh, fancy.
So, works out perfect. Great pack. Next one is going to be 3-Sided Farm. This is by Modding Association. This is going to be 25.71 megabytes to download. So the price tag is $475,000. It doesn't say
Oof.
what that one's for. Oh yeah, so never mind. So that's for the building itself. So it does have a silo, 400,000 liters. That's total. Next one is gonna be. It comes with pigs, 36. The slurry tank capacity is 50,000 liters. This is a bad pass for me, honestly.
Absolutely a hard pass. Now, don't get me wrong, highly detailed model. This thing is really, really good looking. The problem is 26 megabytes, that's quite a bit. Now, you do get a lot with that 26, but that price tag, almost $500,000 for a silo, pig, and a pig barn. That's essentially what you're getting here. Is you're getting sleep triggers and a silo and a pig barn, all kind of wrapped up into one unit.
Right.
And then you're kind of stuck with this whole design. The lack of modularity is really a problem for me personally. So that's part of the reason why I'd have to do a pass on this one is price, the size, and the lack of creativity for the individual user.
Gold Gaming says love this one. No, that was for the Icus one. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, because if you look at the, because if you're on the mod hub and you actually look at the thing where it says Old School Pack Icus with the star rating, it shows 5 sheds.
Oh, you're right. I guess
See, I found it weird.
you need to step up your description game.
I reached out to Icus because I was kind of confused because in FS22 when this pack came out, it came with a chicken coop, and I didn't see the chicken coop. So, unless that's coming as a separate mod down the road. Next one is going to be Old PGR Shelters. This is by Raider. This is going to be 23.73 megabytes to download. This is a hard pass for me.
So, again, if you're looking for kind of the open kind of concepts of barns and sheds and storage, I mean, this isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with this. You're talking 24 megabytes to install, and you've got, multiple different styles of sheds and all that stuff. I would be a pass on this as well, mainly because the look really doesn't go with much of anything that I'm familiar with. And if I'm going to install sheds and stuff like that, I want to be able to have like all like encased sides, or at minimum having 3 sides that are closed off. I'm not a huge fan of the kind of pass-through look,
Right.
but that's just me personally. Nothing wrong with them, but it's a pass.
Oh yeah, 100%. The next one is going to be Swedish Machinery Hall. This is by L1MP3N. I don't know.
And sorry, Will, just really quick, the PGR shelter. I went down a huge rabbit hole trying to figure out what the PGR meant. Back in FS22, it took me forever. Now, of course, because this was a long time ago, I don't remember, but that was an absolute torture to figure out what this all stood for. I remember it was a solid couple of hours of research to figure out what this all stood for, because it was something over in it might have been Poland if I remember correctly. But yeah, no, it was. I just had to throw that one in there. Anyways, Swedish Machinery Shed or Hall, the thing.
It's 2.70 megabytes to download, $25,000. I mean, it looks good and all, but pass for me.
It does look good. I do like the look of it. 3 megabytes to install, which is not that bad. 25 grand to buy. And really, there's nothing in particular that really kind of makes it stand out as something that couldn't be found in other places. I don't see what necessarily would make this a Swedish machine haul. So that kind of being said, yeah, I would install this, and I'd be comfortable throwing this onto just about any map.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's see here. Next one is going to be. Is that what I think it is? Oh yeah. So it's a machinery shed with canopy roof. This is by Dithmaster Modding. This can be 0.41 megabytes to download. Price tag $70,000. This is a pass for me.
I mean, less than a megabyte to install this one, and 70,000 to buy. That's really not bad whatsoever. It's got big storage, big enough for what looks to be a big forage harvester there, the big Kloss forage harvester. I would install this, and yeah, I think this is a really solid, simple mod. It's simple in a good way. So yeah, I would install that. And it looks like it's got some racking on the side there, so that's also nice.
Next one is going to be Medium Warehouse. This is by Betawawi Luaz. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's going to be 18.09 megabytes to download. Price tag is $43,000. Pass. Looks great though.
Looks really good, really good. You can see in this photo here all the kind of blackening, almost looks like mold growing in the joints of the mortar. I love that. I mean, this is a solid looking shed. and you've got all the kind of accent bricks all throughout the outside there. 19 megabytes to install, 43 grand to buy. It's definitely up there in the size. So for that reason, I'd probably end up skipping it, regardless of how good this looks. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a shed, so the file size is going to be kind of important to me personally, and because of that, I'd skip it.
Now, I do know someone reached out to me the other day and asked me why I don't make mod reviews. A, I don't have the time anymore, and B, I would need to. By the time I get home from work, it's almost 6 o'clock at night, and I still have to eat dinner, do laundry, and do some other things around the place. By the time I'm done, I'm usually in bed by like 9:30, 10. So, doing mod reviews is kind of not right now. I mean, I did do them a little bit ago, but that was when I was only working part time. I mean, eventually maybe I'll end up doing them again. So, I had someone also reach out to me and ask me if I can look up what the slot count is for each one of these things, and then say what it is.
Oof.
Do you know how long that would take me to do? So I said no.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is doing mod reviews, like it's fantastic. It's a great service for those, people out there that do it, but it requires a ton of time. A ton of time. There's really no good way to go about them without it taking pretty much an all day affair. So it's just one of those that for the most part, for most people, it's just so time consuming that it's just automatically kind of voids them from being able to do it. I originally, when I did my channel, was thinking about doing something along those lines until I realized just how much work was going to be involved
Right.
with doing that kind of stuff. It's basically a full-time job. Just sitting there coming up with all the stats, all the information that you need to be able to relay to them. I mean, you ever talk to somebody like Looney Farm Guy? He'll tell you, he spends all day with when we get these giant mod drops, like it's an all day affair for him.
I always point everyone to him. Like, if you want to know what a slot count is or anything like that, go see Looney Farm Guy.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, big shout out to Looney. I mean, he does an amazing job over on his channel and gets you all the information that you need on each of the individual stuff. Great thing about his channel is he does one mod per video, so it's easy to find and it's easy to just focus down on the one mod that you want.
Oh yeah, 100%. All right, now moving on from there. Next one is going to be a Cowshed 28 by 17. This is by Peisel. This is going to be 10.91 megabytes to download. They're both $62,000. They both hold 65 cows. The only difference is one has a pasture and one doesn't. I mean, it looks phenomenal, but this would be a pass for me.
Yeah, it's one of those where this one in particular, I'm trying to find about the closest comparable that we have, and it looks like it's going to be the Horman Cow Barn. It holds 50 cows, so this one already gives you 65 cows, so it's talking 15 additional cows, and at 62,000 to buy. The Horman is $254,000. So this is significantly cheaper, and it's only 11 megabytes to install. I'd install this all day and all night. It's highly detailed. It's got a really good look, customizable colors. I mean, it just looks fantastic. Just looks fantastic. Again, looking at the kind of brickwork and the kind of mold that's growing on the bricks and the darkening on it.
Right.
Just it's those kind of small attention to detail things that just are gonna take a mod from a cow barn to the next level, and this one I think is at that next level.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. So your next one is going to be Workshop. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy. This can be 18.41 megabytes to download. Price tag $144,500. This is a pass for me.
Yeah, this one is a pass for me as well. I mean, as I say with a lot of these, specific style of barns and buildings from DMI, it's we don't have any maps right now that this style really goes with. So we're getting a flood of all these mods from this particular group where it's just in this particular style. Um, so all that's being said, yeah, it's great to have these for the day when we do get a mod or get a map that is going to fit this style. But right now, we're talking 19 megabytes to purchase, 144, almost $145,000 to buy it. I mean, again, it doesn't fit the scheme of any map that we have available to us, and because of that, it's going to be a hard pass. But when we do get a map that this is going to fit with, then it's going to be more inviting at that point.
Yo, I literally just thought of this. Yo, okay, tell me if you think I'm crazy for saying this.
You're crazy for saying this. Go on.
I didn't even say it. Now you know how like DMI 20M Normandy is like releasing all these, you know, mods, right?
Sure.
I would not be awfully surprised if he just released a map that required every single one of his mods.
So, do you know that meme, the surprise MFer?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that just all of a sudden just came rocketing to the front of my brain. It's just all of a sudden that gets released and it's like surprise, boom.
Yeah. In your face. All right, let's see here.
Again, I don't know why, but that's just how my brain works.
I gotcha. Next one is going to be the U.S. cow barn with milk. This is a Smetty. Let's be 1.78 megabytes a download. I love this. So this is basically the base game cow barn that was meant for breeding, and he added milk and slurry. I love this.
Fantastic. 2 megabytes. Two. Not one, but two to install this. This is a good outside the box kind of thinking. Is you just took something that was already base game and has a really good look to it and just made it just more appealing to everybody else. I understand the concept that Giants is going for when it comes to like the beef barns and things like that, but I wish that with how customizable this game is and how we have the ability to kind of draw down on all these individual kind of options and components and all these kind of a la carte features that we get, it really shocked me that Giants made it to where, well, we only have this cow barn for beef, we only have this cow barn with the availability of milk, and so on and so forth, where they're kind of really kind of segregating off the two styles of beef farming. This kind of bridged the gap for me. So that I like it very much for that. And yeah, this was an install absolutely.
Oh, yeah. See, I just wish that he made a feature where you can just have the cow barn with no pasture.
Yep.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be cow barn from Hutan Pantai. This is by Percy. This is going to be 6.57 megabytes to download. We have a price tag $185,000. This is the dairy cow barn from the Animal Trader. So this is the animal buy point, and he made his mod.
I like this. I like it a lot. I think that barn that's on Hutan Pantai is it's got a really interesting and unique look. I've never seen a barn that looked like that ever. So now that we actually have it available for us, I like that. But we again really don't have, other than Hutan Pantai itself, a map that's really going to go with the kind of aesthetics of this barn. So if you're okay with ignoring that kind of component to this, then this is a total win. But what's that?
plus another thing too is it actually has a bale storage. It has a bale capacity of 100 bales.
Yes, and integrated manure storage, which is awesome. I I love it when or not when modders integrate the manure into the barn itself and not have an actual separate manure heap. I
Right.
like that. Um, yeah, I think this is a solid one. The only downside is that it just doesn't fit anywhere besides Hutan Pantai for now.
Right.
Hopefully, for now.
Right. So your next one is gonna be wood chip production. This is by Biggins. Makes great stuff. It's gonna be 17.30 megabytes to download. This thing, I, I, I wouldn't. I have this installed on my PC. This is great.
So I really love the mods where they give us different kind of products as a new output kind of thing. But it's one of those where I was burned really hard in FS22 by installing too many mods that had new outputs. And it ended up not tanking my game, but it basically made it to where the premium expansion wasn't visible. So I just had too many products, too many product types
Right.
that was installed. So ever since then, I've been very gun shy about installing too many of these kind of mods that have different styles and different kind of outputs for uh, for the mod itself. So in theory, I love this mod. I think this is great. Being able to make things such as dark brown wood mulch and fire logs and MDF boards and natural wood boards. I mean, you got all these different styles of stuff you can make. It just makes it to where your wood chips are now going to be meaningful
Right.
in game. So if you got like a sawmill and it's just chugging out wood chips, well, now all of a sudden you got something downstream that this is going to be useful for. I love that. I love that kind of creativity that this brought in. 18 megabytes to install is a little bit high, but when you take a look at the building itself, I mean, the kind of components that are available there, there's a bunch of details. The kind of opening of the bay doors and stuff like that. There's a bunch of detail within this mod itself, so I can see where that's coming from. All in all, I like it, and I think this would be a good install.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Um, Next one is gonna be Old Shed with Workshop Trigger. This is by Gamer HZSFSH. It's going to be 8.49 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $5,000.
I mean, it's 9 megabytes for a wood shop. Oh, not wood shop, workshop. I mean, yeah, it's highly, highly detailed. You got the kind of covered awning with all the toolboxes, and you got the ramp, and you got like all these different barrels and stuff. It's highly detailed, and I like that. But it's a workshop. I mean, it's a repair trigger at the end of the day. I mean, is it worth 9 megabytes? I'm not sure. So I would probably skip this one, but
I did.
I can at least see and appreciate where they're coming from.
Yeah. 100%. Let's see. Next one.
Mind if I catch up with the chat real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. So we've got, I believe I left off with Ramber Hacker Gaming says you should have some cricket. Oh no, I read that already. Let's see. We got. Okay, I'm just kind of skipping through the ones where people were responding to being able to hear you or not. Let's see. Uh-oh. So Samuel says, hurricane season, good luck, Florida. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got, definitely got the hurricane season coming. But hopefully able to figure some things out. We're going to keep our fingers crossed right now. Ken says, loud and clear on my end. Nice. We got Rambo Hacker saying, I found a whole custom bale thing annoying. There are other mods that have increased bale capacities without using custom bale trailers. That is very true. Rusty, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, I'm a sucker of sheds, so I passed on all. Way too many good ones. Love sheds. I gotcha. I gotcha. Also says, hello everyone, been lurking a while. Very nice. Well, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Let's see. Nacho says, hey there, Rusty. Rusty says, hey, Nacho. Rambo says, oh, I skipped around. Will you not do that? Rambo says, I'm a sucker for good sheds and all the buildings. After removing 500 mods from the starting mod folder, I'm down to just under 1100 mods. LOL. Holy smokes. I thought I was going nuts and I think I had for like 170 some. You're talking 1100 mods. Rambo. That's nuts, man. That's awesome though. Makes me crave to get to the PC that much faster. Rambo also says pretty much every good-looking building and any type I add to it, my folder. LOL. He also said, hey, they're rusty. The only problem I had with the cowshed 28 by 17 was the pasture. I want an opening into the barn if I have a pasture on it, but that is a me problem, and a barn is really well done. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's
Rambo
right.
says, what's that?
Well, because that one cow barn he's talking about, there's no opening from the pasture to go inside.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You're right. I literally saw that and just didn't click. I was just sitting there like something looks weird, but just anyways.
Yeah.
Also says DMI may have any history of doing that. LOL.
Yep.
Uh, possibly. Taco, how's it going, Taco? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says good evening, all. Rusty says I have had some thought and some other shed packs. Rusty also says Camelos' latest pack was one in particular it used on a certain map as well. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those where I love the sheds. Don't get me wrong, the sheds are great, but the problem is that when you get those ones that have that very specific look to them, like I said, DMI is a perfect example where it's that very Dutch kind of look to them. Um, it just makes it to where you really can't utilize them for much other than a Dutch style map. So it's really hard to be like, oh man, I've got to have that unless I make my whole farm, with a kind of specific flair to it almost.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are places here in like the U.S. where they're heavily influenced by, a kind of origin point from like Europe. Frankenmuth is a perfect example. Frankenmuth is basically little Bavaria up in Michigan. So that's you see a lot of the kind of German influence in that particular area. A lot of German designs and all that kind of stuff. So it makes sense when you kind of developing it in that kind of manner. But for the most part, it's really hard to kind of tie that stuff in. Anyways, Taco says, what I don't understand about the cow barns or pastures, how do you stop a cow giving it milk? That is an amazing point.
Yeah.
Yes, that is an amazing point, Taco. Why didn't I think of that?
Right.
With pastures, you don't get milk. Question mark. Dude, you just blew my world apart. Like seriously. Now that just upset me. Like I'm really angry about this now. Like you don't stop a cow from giving milk, so why should the barn? Like
Right.
oh dude. Dude, we're going to have a 1.3.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for a 1.3. I'm not kidding. Oh my goodness, Taco, you literally just blew my mind. Anyways, let's go ahead and keep going. Let's just go. I'll reel myself in.
All right, so the next one is going to be Stone Agriculture Annex. This is by MA7 Studio. This is going to be 21.27 megabytes to download. Price tag is $12,000. I mean, it looks absolutely phenomenal. but pass for
I
me.
mean, it's MA7 Studios. How can you go wrong?
Right.
I mean, there are several modders out there. MA7 Studios is one of them, where when you see their name pop up, you pay attention and you just download. This is no exception. Now, 22 megabytes, that's a lot, but you see where that 22 megabytes is coming in. The stonework and the texturing on this building is incredible. You see the rafters and the decayed look in the wood. Like this barn has been around for decades upon decades upon decades. It's gorgeous. Again, MA7 Studios, this one I would absolutely install regardless of the megabyte size. And that's pretty much anything by an MA7 Studio.
Right, right. Next one is going to be Custom Stone Crusher. This is by BK Mods. This is going to be 11.19 megabytes to download. Let's see, you have a price tag of $15,000. I mean, I like it.
I will match your like it and I'll raise it. I love it. I think this is incredible. It's a lime production point at the end of the day. And you can see here 2,000 stone in, 2,000 water in, 5,000 lime out. You are more than doubling your stone to lime. This is incredible. 480 cycles a month, as you can see here. I mean, you're going to not only get a lot from a little, but it's going to just sit there and just chug away. You're going to get quite a bit of end product. And you're talking stone and water. I mean, water's free from a water source for the most part, if your map has it. So not the end of the world most times to get water. And stone, you're going to get naturally through stone picking or through contracts or whatever the case may be. One thing that has been abundantly clear here in FS25 is that stone is very easy to get here on Farming Simulator 25, much easier than it ever was in FS22. All that being said, this is an incredible mod. Love it, and yeah, absolutely worth the install.
Plus, you can also actually go inside and hop onto a conveyor belt that you can actually see stone going onto, and then going up into the crusher. And
yeah, that's pretty incredible. Like I said, you're just sweetening the deal.
right. Gold Gaming says MA7 ICUS and LJR modding. Oh yeah, they're all pretty good. They're all really good, especially ICUS. I love ICUS's buildings.
Agribusiness Tonight is no longer Agribusiness Tonight. We are now the ICUS Hour.
Yeah. So this one's going to be Sugar Beet Shredder. This is by Peisel. This is going to be 1.70 megabytes to download. So you have two of them. Okay, so you have one that basically does 10,000, that holds 10,000 liters, and one that holds 50,000 liters. This is a pass for me.
I like it. I like this one. 2 megabytes to install, and you're essentially just making a production point for a sugar beet cutter. If sugar beet cutting is your thing, you know, if you're getting like a biogas plant or you're doing sugar, things like that, then this is going to be a good one for you. Yeah, I like this one and would absolutely install it simply because less than 2 megabytes and $11,000. And you have kind of a quote unquote unrealistic version, you know, with the 50,000 liter capacity. So, yeah, all in all, I think it's worth it.
So Rambo Hacker Gaming says, considering I have 91 mods from 87 from MA7, I may be a fan of them, LOL. And then Gold Gaming says maybe. He also says LOL. And then Rambo also says just a small one, LOL.
I mean, that might be bordering beyond a fan and maybe broaching the territory of something beyond. I don't quote me on that one. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there.
I mean, to be
But no,
fair,
I'm right there with you, Rambo. Don't worry. You're not alone.
I mean, to be fair, I have all of Icus's sheds installed.
So what you're saying is you're approaching that zone with ICAS. So I mean, I get it. I understand. MA7 Studios, ICAS. There's many modders out there. When I see their name pop up, I almost ignore what the mod is and just instantly
Yeah.
download it. It sounds like you're that way with ICAS. It sounds like Rambo's that way with MA7. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a thing.
Right. Let's see here. The next one's gonna be Drain. This is by Teth Saturn. This is gonna be 0.81 megabytes to download. Price tag is $200. FYI, you do not make money off of this, so it just drains.
Yeah, so this is a sell point with zero value. I am not a fan of this, and here's why. Less than a megabyte, that's fine. The substances that it takes, that's fine too. The price, that's fine. What I'm not a fan of is in FS22, I think we had a better version of this. It was the government. I think it was called the government drain. Don't get me wrong. Don't quote me on the name, but it was something. It was something along the lines of government something or other. And what it was a sell point, but for the components that was not water, it actually had a negative value, meaning that if you took, let's say, herbicide and dumped it into this sell point, you're being charged a quote unquote dumping fee for that product. And it just had that tinge of realism. I liked that. I really liked that. Now, I don't know if this mod is doing something similar, and if so, then it kind of bumps it back up, but I'm pretty sure it just zeroes it out.
Yeah, that's all it does. Just zeroes it out.
Yeah, so that being the case, it's one of those where I think that the other version, the other mod did it better, but I understand where they're coming from with this. But this also kind of screams to me like shady. And what I mean by that is if you got some random, farmer coming up with a big old trailer full of herbicide and now all of a sudden they're parked over a storm, a storm sewer, and they're just like, do, let me just pipe this down here and turn on the spigot and just kind of twirling their thumbs like nothing to see here, good folks, nothing to see here whatsoever. That's a wee bit shady.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. Next one is going to be Farm Fuel Station. This is by DH Modern. This is going to be 6.84 megabytes to download. And your prices range between $20,000 and $40,000. I like these.
Yeah, these are really nice. They're essentially just fuel tanks. And they definitely have a specific look to them. I don't know. It's one of those where I like them. I think they are sharp. But I just can't put my finger on like the kind of aesthetics behind it. It almost looks potentially like South American, maybe. And again, it's just one of those where it's going to have a kind of a place on certain maps, in my opinion. I could be 100% wrong on that, so don't quote me. But all in all, 7 megabytes to install and 20 to 40 grand to purchase. That's not that bad. So all in all, would I install this? Yes. Did I install it? No.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the precast British style bunker silo. This is by Rod Tech Mod. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's going to be 0.35 megabytes to download. Price tag is $75,000. Do not download this. Do not.
Uh-oh.
Everything bleeds through the walls so badly. So, do not download. It's broken.
Broken. No bueno.
Yep.
Moving on.
Next one is going to be Luxurious Fence. or luxury fence. This is by Dudic 112. This is going to be 3.48 megabytes to download. Price tag is $250 per section. It looks fantastic, but it's a pass for me.
It is a very luxurious fence. I must admit, it's one of the most luxurious fences I've ever seen. That being said, 4 megabytes to install. That's not that bad for anything that's not a fence. That being said, I mean, it looks fantastic. You look at the brickwork, you look at the wrought irons, like everything about this just looks really sharp, but it's going to have. I personally would struggle to find a good place to use this at because it's almost too fancy. It's almost too luxurious, for like a farm kind of thing. Now, you might be able to build it around like a production point or something like that where it would kind of make sense that they have like money to burn, quote unquote. But all in all, I'd probably end up skipping on this one.
That's exactly what I did. Next one is, well, so this is going to be an update for Comms Lands by Ira Shava. Come on, load. It is 126.20 megabytes to download. It is version 1.0.3.0. Does say fixed terrain restrictions issues that made building impossible on much of the map, and fixed issue where sales points were not showing up on the map, and PDA. It does say info. Although sale points do not appear on the map or PDA, they work perfectly in version 1.0 if you update. If you update to version 1.0.3, you will need to start a new save game for the sales to be visible.
So I did an update video for this map, and I confirmed that everything appeared to be working fine. Now, I will say, and I want to give a huge shout out to Welsh Sim Farmer. Welsh, thank you so very much for reaching out to me. They pointed out that, and I'll go ahead and just quote this just really quickly. It said, it seems a bit strange the changelog didn't mention the issue with being able to mow meadow grass and the missing XML files for cutter effects, etc. So apparently there was an issue where you were not able to mow the grass in the fields, in the kind of meadow areas. Well, anybody who's familiar with this map realizes that's a huge deal. That's a big problem because this is pretty much all meadows. You can see the map right here. The like light green squares are meadow grass. The dark greens are little forestry bits. The vast majority of this is a grass field, a grass map. So yeah, not being able to cut that is a big issue. Now I did go in after that comment was made by Welsh and confirmed that after skipping ahead 1 month that the grass is mowable and should be good to go. So should be able to kind of progress on this one and yeah, no longer have any issues with that. So good to go there.
Yeah, Rambo Hacker Gaming basically stated that he was just going to mention the meadow grass. So,
booyah.
Let's see, and then we also got an update to the Super Duty Pickup by Roughneck Modding Crew. Then we also have an update to the Animal Transports by Lamy. We also have an update to the Pack of Greenhouses by Barty. Now this one right here, Firewood Production by Agribusniess. This was on console and then it was removed, and it is changelog 1.0.2.0 crossplay release. So basically it's just re-added it. So we're not going to go over that.
Cool.
Next one is Farming Supplies by Antics. I know you really like this one.
I do.
This is 2.05 megabytes to download. It is version 1.0.0.1. So it is going to be all triggers enlarged. Capacity corrected. The reason for the low capacity was a capital letter instead of a lowercase one in the XML, and possibly load all materials.
So, just a real quick comment. It's amazing as somebody, I don't do XML coding, but I do SQL coding. And it's amazing how one little oopsie, like it said there in the changelog, one capital letter versus one lowercase letter can make the difference so drastically in how something performs. It's crazy. It's really, really nuts, which again just gives me, as I'm sure many other people out there, a huge respect for those modders out there who are, working through tirelessly to bring us mods for this game. Big shout out to all the modders out there because, yeah, it's silly little things like that that can just make you go bald, just ripping out your own hair.
Oh yeah. Next one is going to be pallet storage by VX Mapping. Yeah, bunker silo set modular by Castor DS Agri Service. Update to Polish wooden shed by Kusan. We also have an update to manure excavator by MA7 Studio, and then we also have updated the corn crib by MA7 Studio. Now here we go. Now we're gonna move on to this one. So the next one is going to be the Fortschritt E512 /E514. This is by DS Volt. It's going to be 96
Volt.
96.11 megabytes to download. Pass.
I love this. I absolutely love this. And it's not because I'm a big Fortschritt fan or anything like that. I just love this old school look that this brand has. And there was a huge emphasis when we got models like this from this brand on these kind of old school looks. I love that. I absolutely love it. 97 megabytes, absolutely not hard pass because of that. But they look amazing, and I just love that old school flair that they have. So if it wasn't the fact that they were 97 megabytes to install, I would install these.
Plus, also these harvesters right here. I was watching Mr. CLP's video, and when you start it up, to actually like run the machine, like when you turn it on and everything, the whole machine like shakes. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it has that old school flair, that kind of like, is it going to start today? Is it going to run properly? Am I going to get stranded out in the middle of the field? Nobody knows.
Right. Let's see here. The next one is going to be the Landini 6L T4i series. This is by Pepe978. This is going to be 29.80 megabytes to download. You do have a you have a price tag of $125,500, horsepower between 145 to 175. This is a pass for me, only because I don't really use Landini.
So I'm just looking for a comparable, and looks like we've got a Kloss Iron 550 530. It's got a base power of 145 horsepower, which is the same exact one as this. Up in the upper end, it has 165, but the Landini here is 175, so you can get a little bit higher horsepower. Landini, 125.5 to start. The Kloss, 153. So right off the bat, you're going to save about 25K going with the Landini and its base range. That's not bad. That's really not bad at all. Now, 20, almost 30 megabytes to install, that's a bit high for me. I mean, I tend to look for about a 25 megabyte cutoff when it comes to tractors. Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing a ton of the kind of flares and extras that would bump up that megabyte size, so I'm not quite sure what it is that we are getting that's pushing that up. Most times when you see, the above 25 or above 30s, for megabytes, you're talking like the liftable windows and, okay, I see it here in the description, adjustable mirrors. That's going to be one of them that's going to drive it up. yeah. So all in all, I would probably skip this one. It's just a little bit too rich for my blood, and Landini is not a brand that I tend to go with. But when you compare it to what we have in base game, that's a pretty good savings for having something with the same power range. So all
Right.
in all, it's kind of a push for me. I could be talked into it in either direction.
Right. So your next one is going to be McCormick Deering W4. This is by EY Modding. It's going to be 7.65 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $12,000. Horsepower range between 25 and 30. I love this thing. I have it on my PC now. I cannot on my Xbox, but I love this little thing.
It's fantastic. You know, you're talking. It's only 25 horsepower. It's incredibly small, incredibly weak. 12 grand to buy, but for just like a little cart pusher, you know, it's great. It's fantastic, and it's got that really old school look, like I was mentioning before. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Definitely worth a download. If you're looking for just like a little gopher tractor, this is it. Go for this. Go for that.
Oh yeah. Next one is going to be the Liebherr LH26 by Kenny456. This is going to be 29.11 megabytes to download. Missed the pass for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pass. 30 megabytes to install, and you're talking. It's a fancy, excavator.
Yeah,
It's got some little bells and whistles to it, but at the end of the day, it's not enough for me to be able to like, okay, let's just jump in and do all this. Yeah, it's got the log grapple, it's got a big log grapple, it's got the clamshell bunk, it's got the wood harvester header, it's got the fast coupler, it's got all the bells and whistles to it. That's fantastic. I just, yeah, not something that I think is going to be worth it in the end. So pass for me.
Next one is going to be the JCB 714. This is also by Kenny456. This is going to be the 22.82 megabytes to download. This is a pass for me.
Yeah, same here. Two construction simulator for me. Um, just one of those where I understand like PC players they can get like the mod where you can like take the dirt from the ground and like I forget what it's called. It's like the terraform or whatever it's called.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, there you go. Where you can get something like that, and it makes sense to have this kind of a mod where you can actually like have the construction scene kind of thing. But at the end of the day, in base game terms, this is a self-propelled trailer at its core, and for $30,000, 30,000 liters at its maximum capacity, $80,000 for its starting price. It's just not worth it. Again, for what is equivalent to a self-propelled trailer.
Oh, yeah. Hard pass.
Yep.
Next one is going to be the TLX Phoenix Semi Truck by 82 Studio. This is going to be 80.46 megabytes to download. Love this truck.
I mean, so how I was mentioning before, when it comes to modders and you see their name pop up and you all of a sudden your ears perk up and you almost download as a knee-jerk reaction to seeing their name, doesn't matter what it is. 82 Studios is again another one of those modders where it's that kind of reaction.
Right.
And the TLX Phoenix is an amazing semi truck. Yeah, 82 Studios does an amazing job on their mods, and you look at some of these kind of paint schemes and stuff, looks fantastic. I mean, this thing looks like it ought to go toe to toe with Optimus Prime. I mean, that's how awesome this thing looks, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, this one almost looks like it should be like Megatron's right hand man. But
Right.
that being said, I mean, you can't go wrong with 82 Studios. When it comes to their trucks, when it comes to their mods, I mean, this is a go ahead and grab it all day, every day. I mean, 81 megabytes to install. I mean, how funny would that have been if it was just a little bit bigger? We could have said 82 megabytes to install. I mean, what was funny is that 82 Studios, they always have that kind of 82 as kind of the precursor to a lot of their stuff. So if they have a trailer, well, they'll do, kind of a realistic capacity, and then their unrealistic capacity could be like 82,000 liters, 820,000 liters. Like it's always like those little winks and nods to the studio name and all that stuff. Just would have been like the next level of almost troll level
Yeah.
of, hey, we made a thing and it's 82 megabytes to install. Like, really? You're gonna go that deep into it? Okay, we got you. We're gonna put you on notice.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely love that truck. Love it. I was super happy when it came out. Yeah, and I told you when it
Yeah.
came out too. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" Next one is gonna be the Big Bud 747 16V. This is by Hispano and JHHG modding. Be
And actually,
30.
before we move on, just really quickly, do you have my stream pulled up?
No, not yet.
No. So look at the second photo of the TLX there. Tell me that truck doesn't look extremely angry with the unibrow.
Oh,
Good
it
luck
does.
ever unseeing that.
It does.
You're welcome. Moving on.
All right, so I'll say this is the Big Bud 747 16V. This is by Hispano and JHHG modding. This is gonna be 34.45 megabytes to download. Pass.
I love the big buds. I love the big buds. Now, 35 megabytes for a tractor, that's way too much for me. Way too much. But, I mean, how many times can you say that your tractor has 1100 horsepower?
Right.
Not that often. And here's the thing is, like, realistically so. It's almost never that you can sit there and be like, hey, my tractor has 1100 horsepower. Okay, well, what mod did you get that has that as an unrealistic, capacity kind of thing? No, the Big Bud has that much power. These things are just sheer beasts.
Wait.
And for that reason alone is just why I love them so much. But, like I was saying, to kind of bring myself back to reality, 35 megabytes to install, that's a ton. $406,000 to purchase. I mean, holy smokes. It's super, super expensive. Now, you take a look at something in that price range, $406,000, you're talking, we'll take a look at the John Deere 9R. You're talking at its base 484 horsepower. I mean, that right there is going to pretty much handle almost every single implement on the base game right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
So having that additional 1100 horsepower, although it's nice, don't get me wrong, I love me some horsepower. You can spend the $400,000 on a John Deere and get the same results without investing 35 megabytes into its file size.
Right, right. Yeah, so Rambo Hacker Gaming says 82 is another one I always download and check it out later. Oh, yeah. He also says $406,000 is not bad for 1100 horsepower.
No, I 100% agree with you. 100%. But in game terms, having 484 horsepower versus 1100 horsepower, there's nothing that you can really tackle with that 1100 horsepower that isn't going to be, at least for the most part, achievable with the 9R.
Right.
So having that additional storage capacity back, that 35 megabytes to put somewhere else, is the way that I'm going to approach things. I'm just going to say, hey, I love the Big Bud. Don't get me wrong. I love the 1100 horsepower. It's insane. But 35 megabytes can be used somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear. Next one is to be Case IH Magnum 340 400 Series Special Edition FL, which stands for front loader. This is by Mac Trucker 921. This is going to be 24.32 megabytes to download. I passed on this one.
So 25 megabytes to install, so it's below the threshold. This has a front loader to where you can actually like have a large tractor with a front loader on it. I don't think there's a single large tractor that will give you the option of a front loader for base game.
The 7R.
And uh, does the 7R have a
Yeah.
no? Lies. Oh no, front loader. There it is. I lied. I sit on a throne of lies. Anyways,
I remember when you sent me that.
but no, it's one of those where having a large tractor comes few and far between when you have a front loader like this. So that's really cool. I like that. Now, the unrealistic engines, 1,300 horsepower. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna bust out Tim the Tool Man. Oh. 1,300 horses. Wow, that's just nuts. I mean, at the end of the day, I like this, but it's too unrealistic for me. So I pass. Very, very difficultly pass.
I see here. Next one is going to be the June Heinrich EFG S50S Pro. This is by Just Farming. This is going to be 8.11 megabytes to download. This thing has so many things. You can go up and down in the sea. You can tilt everything. You can tilt backwards. You can open up the doors, open the side panels, open up the back window. You can even operate the mirror. I mean, not the mirror, like the monitor. You can even control the armrest in this thing. But the thing I find absolutely hilarious is I was watching DJ Ohim's video on this, and he made it so like the guy's left arm looks so stretched out that when he started driving his steering wheel, he literally goes he literally goes, oh no, it's an alien driving, oh no. This is a
So,
pass for me, though.
is it just me, or in the fourth photo where it's showing the stretched out arm like you were talking about and him just kind of like hanging back,
Yeah.
is it just me, or does the song "They See Me Rolling, They Hatin', Y'all Trying to Catch Me Riding," am I the only one?
I mean,
The whole "Riding Dirty" by In the Chameleonaire, I think, is who sang that.
yeah.
Like that one, I don't know why it just comes screaming into my head. Just how he's like all like lean back and stuff like that. Anyways,
The arm shouldn't be
nine.
like
Mi-
that.
the arm should not be like that. I mean, yes, aliens live amongst us. Most of them are politicians. Anyways, um, anywho, nah. I mean, 9 megabytes to install. At the end of the day, I think that this is just too much. I mean, this is a high-low, you know? This is just like 9 megabytes for a high-low. I mean, I struggled to find a use for a high-low on a good day. Now, having a high-low with all these different options, all these bells and whistles, I mean, yeah, it's a pass for me. But I love the name Young Heinrich. Don't know
Well,
why.
Well, I also think it's funny because right as he was about to finish up with this mod and move on to the next one, he literally actually picked it up and threw it on top of the roof of a building and said, "Now you can stay there. Get away from me."
Get away from me, you devil device.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the John Deere Series 7010. This is by Virtual Farmers, not Virtual Farmer. This is has a 20.71 megabyte downloadable size. I like this.
You like the John Deere? No. I'm pretty sure Hades is frozen over.
Wow.
21 megabytes to download. I mean, $68,000 to purchase. What's not to like about it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a solid mod. It's a solid tractor, and I do like the old school flair that this has. Again, this is like what, like a 80s tractor, I think. Um, yeah, I mean, this is a great mod because these older tractors make it to where the kind of introductory pricing for somebody who's just starting out, it just makes it to where now we have something that's achievable. And then you look at the kind of comparables, you're talking base of a 175 horsepower. You're talking, okay, like the Zader Crystal, 171 horsepower for the Zader compared to 175 here. The Zader Crystal's $130,000. This is $68,000. You're saving more than almost half the price with this mod as opposed to the Zader. And yeah, it's nice. I like it. Definitely worth the install.
So Rambo Hacker Gaming says, more power to quote Tim the Toolman Taylor. And then he also says, hold my beer. LOL. And he says, that case from Mack Trucker is my new favorite go-to tractor, especially the Unreal aspects of it. Yeah, I mean, I try to avoid the Unreal mods as much as possible. He also says more power, LOL, and then Go Gaming says, I mean, he broke his arm, don't judge.
This is true. This is true.
Let's see here. Next one would be the John Deere Gator CX. This is by Switches Modding. This is going to be 14.50 megabytes to download. You do have a price tag starting out of $3,560. I like this.
I mean, it's 15 megabytes to install, and yeah, it's the side by side. It's the Gator. I mean, me personally, meh. It's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper than the base game Gator. You figure that's 26,000. This is only 3,500. I mean, yeah, that's nice, but 15 megabytes, meh, that's okay. That'd be a pass for me.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Lizard Silver, the Lizard, or the Chevy Silverado 6500 by Agritono. This is going to be 29.95 megabytes to download. Your starting price tag is $67,500. You have 400 horsepower. I love this truck.
It's nice. This is a nice one. 30 megabytes to install. I mean, 70,000 almost to purchase. Yeah, you get the tipper back, you get the flatbed, you get the box. I mean, you get the regular, tailgate, you get the roll bars, and like you get all sorts of different stuff that really kind of adds, flair to this truck and makes it very gives it a good amount of utility. Yeah, this is a good one. I would absolutely install this one.
Oh, yeah. Next one is going to be the Pickup 2014 package. This is by Dogface. Love the name. This will be at 9.72 megabytes to download. It does so the truck itself costs $20,000. The horsepower is 300. It does come with a fuel transfer tank. Price tag is $550. Holds 450 liters. And then there is another tank for the back of it, which you have a price tag of $550. Holds 2,500 liters. And all liquids. This is a pass for me.
Hard pass. I mean, at the end of the day, this is just basically the base game pickup truck with a liquid tanker that can attach to it. That's essentially what this is. Yeah, 10 megabytes I would probably end up using elsewhere. So, going to be a pass.
Next one is going to be the Lizard Banshee 350. This is by Sloches Modding. It's going to be 15.51 megabytes to download. You do have a horsepower of 60 and a price tag of $2,650. This is a pass for me.
Yeah, the pass for me as well. With the only exception is I love that paint scheme, the American flag paint scheme on the third photo. That's fantastic looking. I think that's really cool. And holy smokes, does that thing look like a demon possessed? Fifth photo.
I know.
Um, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a quad, and 16 megabytes can be used elsewhere for something else. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting looking, especially the demon, especially the American flag. I think it's really sharp, but I can't find a use case for this. So for me, it's a pass.
Let's see here. Next one is going to be the Massey Ferguson 326 and Voltra 2617. This is going to be by Holtz FS. This is going to be 13.75 megabytes to download. So you do have a price tag of $12,000. You have a horsepower requirement of 95. The fertilizer tank is 1,260 liters. The seed tank is 860 liters. Working with is 4.4 meters. This is a pass for me.
This one I like. So 14 megabytes to install, not that bad. I like the kind of tandem look that this has with it. I just think it's a very interesting way of going about doing seeding, and I would install this one, but again, it's going to be one of those that I'm going to install it because of the kind of flair that it has, not necessarily because of what it's doing or how it's doing it. So, yeah, it's just a unique kind of mod to have. So that's probably why I would install it.
Next one is going to be the Lizard ATA 14. This is by JD Modding ARG.
Arrgh.
This is going to be 8.63 megabytes to download. You have a price tag of $22,000, capacity of 17,000 liters. This is a pass for me.
Yeah, pass for me as well. I mean, at the end of the day, it's an auger wagon. I'm personally not a huge auger wagon person, so I'm kind of, already kind of predispositioned not to be, in for using these or kind of giving these a favorable outlook. But I mean, you take a look, 9 megabytes to install and 22,000 to buy. You take a look at some of the base game comparables. I mean, really the only thing we have that's comparable is the Demco. 30,000 liters for the Demco. This has 17,000 liters, so you're talking about half as much. The Demco is $68,500. This is $22,000. So half the capacity, but a third of the price. So you're saving quite a bit of money by getting this one. So if you're into auger wagons, this would be one to get because it's going to be a better price per liter available.
I'll see.
Now, just real quick, let me catch up to my chat just real fast. We've got, let's see. Rambo says, it's Giants magic. Don't tell them that cows don't know how to stop producing milk. Yes, exactly. Rambo also says, thankfully, Fenceless Pastures by Cookie Monster fixed pastures. 100%. Taco says, yeah, and chickens eat corn. Same idiotic reasons. Exactly. Let's see. Pippa, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says hi BDD and Will T Gaming.
Yeah,
You got Taco says, ever heard of ever heard of Paulette means yellow chicken, corn-fed hens. I've not heard of that. Yeah, but no, I mean it makes sense. I mean, it's that's what we gave the chickens at my grandfather's farm was, a whole bunch of corn and whatnot. So makes sense to me. Let's see. We got Rambo says, I added a custom animal XML to every map I play to fix the problems with animal food in base game, which is so sad that I have to do that. 100%. 100%. Taco says, I have no idea how to change any XML file. I'm old. Taco says that workshop looks cool. I agree. Rambo says, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly which one you're talking about. Rambo says, "Welcome to the angry crowd about milk." LOL. I went off half a stream on on the no milk thing. Yeah, yeah. Literally, I can't believe it took. You ever heard of that whole "I was this years old before I realized X"? Well, I'm almost 42 years old when I realized that milk has no bearing on the on the building that the cows are in. Anyways, before I get my ranty pants on, I'm just gonna move on. Taco says think or thing. Taco also says, why are a few concrete walls 75,000 pounds? Concrete's heavy. Taco says, I have the Forschwit for weeks already. Absolute fabulous. I, it's one of those, I just love the look of them. I think they're amazing. That kind of old school look that they have, fantastic. Kobe Gaming, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says, hi, BDD. Samuel says, good morning, y'all, at Florida people. Oh, yeah, it's now 12 o'clock in the morning, and whew, the tired is setting in. Samuel also says, I'm out. Bye, everyone. Y'all. See y'all soon at the video and next live stream later, y'all. All right, Samuel, thanks for stopping by. You have yourself a fantastic rest of your night. You take care, and we'll see you again next time. We got Rambo says, see you, Samuel. Have a good night. Also says, Tim the Toolman Taylor is very disappointed in you, BDD. Wait, what? What's wrong with Tim the Toolman? Yeah, what? What? Wait a minute. What's wrong with Tim? Come on. Let's see. Rambo says, me on seeing a John Deere. Bleh. Oh, Rambo. Thank you.